decreasing petroleum reserves in terms of production, desertion and other issues had created a complex world of difficult challenges. We were confronted with issues ranging from massive debt in the power sector, with IPPs alone accounting for about 1.7 billion, and then the entire power generation accounting for over 3 billion. Indeed, if you were to put all the energy sector debt together, it was hovering at around 80 billion cedis. That is the magnitude of the challenge we inherited. As if that was not enough, the power deficit as at December 2024 was about 720 megawatts with very, very limited fuel stock. IPPs were continuously threatening to shut down because of unpaid bills. In the petroleum sector, the story was not different. Policy uncertainty and a poisoned business environment culminated in waning investor confidence, with a precipitous decline in crude oil production for 5 continuous years. Indeed, from a peak of 71 million barrels in 2019, we continuously witnessed decline in crude production to a low level of 48 million. And so crude oil production had peaked at 71 million, but declined over the past 5 years to about 48 million barrels. This clearly showed that the sector was on a downward trend. However, as a new government, we recognize that these challenges did not only pose as a difficult situation, but presented opportunities for us to transform the energy sector into one that is robust, resilient, and more importantly, green. We immediately set about addressing these issues through a multi-pronged approach. Firstly, we took steps to deal with the short-term challenges by stabilizing the grid, as well as pursuing medium to long-term investments in generation, transmission, and distribution sector, whilst addressing petroleum sector-related challenges. Under the able leadership of His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama, we engaged investors in the upstream sector and pursued reforms in the downstream sector to address the dwindling fortunes in our exploration and production drive, whilst bringing about overall efficiency in the downstream sector. I am happy today to announce to you, members of the press, that these policy interventions are beginning to show positive strides and positive trends. The government has taken decisive steps to reposition Ghana's energy sector as a reliable engine of economic growth, industrialization, and social development. I will now use the opportunity to talk about some of the policy interventions that we have pursued over the last 6 to 7 months. As you may be aware, the mandate of the ministry has been expanded. It's no longer Ministry of Energy, but Ministry of Energy and Green Transitions, with a focus on shifting the nation's energy sector and economy towards sustainability and long-term economic growth underpinned by renewable energy. This includes promoting renewable energy sources such as solar, wind, biomass, mini hydros, and other new forms of renewable energy to ensure that we have a just and equitable transition to a low-carbon future. In this regard, the ministry has launched the Ghana Scaling Up Renewable Energy Program, known as SREP, and we did this on 30th May 2025 at Lala. This project is funded with an 85 million grant from the African Development Bank, Climate Investment Fund, SECO, and the Government of Ghana. The project aims to deploy 12,000 net-metered solar PV systems across homes, construct 35 mini-grids to supply electricity to 70,000 people, in 47 island communities, and ensure that we supply 1,450 solar home systems for off-remote grid households and public facilities. The ministry is also facilitating the development of a 200 megawatt solar project at various locations across the country. In addition, a 25 megawatt floating solar plant is being built at the Bui power station to bring the total capacity to 30 megawatts, with the floaters being manufactured locally in line with our local content participation policy. On the ECG containers, I have received approval from the Chief of Staff, and just this morning I had a very fruitful meeting with the Minister of Finance. All the containers that have been identified so far, we are constituting a task force led by the Deputy Minister of Energy, with Customs, with GRA, with National Security, and all the relevant agencies, ECG, on board that committee. We intend to establish a custom-bonded warehouse where we'd evacuate all the containers to that custom-bonded warehouse, take all the stock and reconcile with all the figures to determine the exact amount of containers that have been retrieved. We'll also go through Cabinet to Parliament for approval to exempt taxation on those containers, because there are some critical items in the containers. ECG will use some. The ministry will also leverage on some of the containers and embark on a massive intensification project when it comes to electricity expansion. It's not just rural extension of electricity. In the cities, some people, new developments, they do not have electricity. We cannot have all these containers stuck there whilst we spend the taxpayers' money to buy additional material. On the prosecution of the missing containers, I know that the state agencies are pursuing it. I know that their caution statements have been taken, and the Attorney General is pursuing that. And I'm sure that when the Attorney General has his turn, he will throw more light on that. We have two issues to deal with. We want to retrieve almost all the containers, if not all. But those who were involved in all that, I hold a view, and I strongly hold that view, that the law should deal with them. The ministry is also facilitating the development of a 200 megawatt solar project at various locations across the country. In addition, a 25 megawatt floating solar plant is being built at the Bui power station to bring the total capacity to 30 megawatts, with the floaters being manufactured locally in line with our local content participation policy. The VRA is also developing a 30 megawatt floating solar facility at the Pong Hydro Reservoir, and is being funded by KFW. What we are seeking to do is that we are deploying a lot of solar panels to feed into the grid. So daytime we will depend on these solar panels, then in the night we will switch to hydropower, so that the hydro dams more or less become like battery storage. In that way we can bring about longevity in terms of how we manage our hydro dams. As part of our street lighting project, I'm happy to announce that we've commenced the installation of all-in-one solar street lights. We intend to do 23,500 units covering a distance of 700 kilometers, so that gradually we can take solar as the main focus and move our street lights away from the grid. The street lights depend largely on the grid, and unfortunately, these street lights come on during the peak period. The difference between the peak period and the off-peak period can range around 400 to 600 megawatts. And these street lights alone accounts for more than 200 megawatts. And so if we can take them off and put them on solar systems, it means that we'll be shaving off about 200 to 300 megawatts, and that will contribute significantly towards efficiency in the sector. We are working very hard to also bring some departments, agencies, and government schools and clinics on board by installing solar rooftops. And if we do that, it means that we'll also be bringing about efficiency and reducing the electricity bills of these institutions. A couple of weeks ago, we launched our EV promotion program, so that these EV vehicles would depend on solar for charging. I commissioned the first one at the Energy Commission, and as part of government efforts, we are importing the first EV vehicles for government agencies. So very soon you will see ministers driving EV vehicles. We'll roll it out to other departments, and heads of agencies, some of who are here, would be driving EV vehicles powered by solar power. We will, in collaboration with the private sector, extend it to commercial drivers and other users so that EV vehicles would become a norm as far as the nation is concerned. We were confronted with issues ranging from massive debt in the power sector, with IPPs alone accounting for about 1.7 billion, and then the entire power generation accounting for over 3 billion. Indeed, if you were to put all the energy sector debt together, it was hovering at around 80 billion cedis. That is the magnitude of the challenge we inherited. As if that was not enough, the power deficit, as at December 2024, was about 720 megawatts, with very, very limited fuel stock. IPPs were continuously threatening to shut down because of unpaid bills. In the petroleum sector, the story was not different. Policy uncertainty and a poisoned business environment culminated in waning investor confidence, with a precipitous decline in crude oil production for 5 continuous years. Indeed, from a peak of 71 million barrels in 2019, we continuously witnessed decline in crude production to a low level of 48 million. This clearly showed that the sector was on a downward trend. However, as a new government, we recognize that these challenges did not only pose as a difficult situation, but presented opportunities for us to transform the energy sector into one that is robust, resilient, and more importantly, green. We immediately set about addressing these issues through a multi-pronged approach. Firstly, we took steps to deal with the short-term challenges by stabilizing the grid, as well as pursuing medium to long-term investments in generation, transmission, and distribution sector, whilst addressing petroleum sector-related challenges.
I watch my drop of phone up to 12 city noir. As I say, a second Pesabia or Robogan, a second phone, another baby order now.
It's a very good idea. President Mahama have no intention of robbing Ghanaians. It would have been even better for him to make it 5 Ghana cedis. He has even considered us.
On quite the tribunal, while considering Ghana and West, when 5 city quite good. And to say, be a generous one fine year, the next time on the voting time, the boon say, be a better, so be quite so better, faster.
You mean be funny, eh? At the government in Baba, electricity be coming here. Let the government Baba, electricity be coming here.
Many people in our country has illegal connection, even the big men in our country. During illegal connection, while we the poor ones are suffering. We have task force. Why are they in the office? They should leave the office and come to town.
Legal connection son yo amesiami. No ka get 1 city ba no. Wo hiafo ye bedane apin wo. Again you get all the time you be shiga. You be go na task force be na wele ame. Mini jam no tumo your office here. Na pay ame be fair be.
The 1 city is okay because that debt will collapse the economy if we don't do anything about it. So for me, personally, it's okay, and it will help the country.
Senka omoya anka problem bi anim. Se ebebo mine nko dia ye ni problem. Na se option na se
We have no problem as far as it's going to help the country. It's a very good idea.
Na di mpuntu djuma ba mine ma ye ni problem. E you right say ochi because se to butu nyina wo matwam. Nti se 1 cedis no so mo chi a enka ne problem. Eni to butu we ni esi kwa ha. Nti o mo chi a o mo ye right.
Manyina asay. O da wa na light ne off na aso na ekọ na aba na ekọ na aba nti oye ne saa ebeboa. Mama de waka na obeye amaye. ye wogidi woni mu se bibi ode na no beka bia wotimi ye eti ye bompa ya sere ye mpanimfo no so omomo light off ba na ye to pipe mu na ye nya bibi sa na emoa ye.
The tuber we buy for 12,000 will be 1 Ghana CD, 20 plus 1. A ball of KK you buy for 1,000 CDs will be 10 Ghana plus 1. And your 2,000 church of will be 20 Ghana plus 1. No change in value. The value is the same. There is no change in value. The tuber we buy for 12,000 will be 1 Ghana CD, 20 plus 1. A ball of KK you buy for 1,000 CDs will be 10 Ghana plus 1. And your 2,000 church of will be 20 Ghana plus 1. No change in value. The value is the same. There is no change in value. The value is the same.
Government is broke, government is broke. But people are spending billions to go inside the government that is broke. Have you ever seen a minister who resigned because government is broke before? Government has no money. Have you ever seen a governor who said, ladies and gentlemen, when I was elected, I thought the government had money. Now I discover government has no money, I resign. Have you ever seen it? Government has no money, but they are bringing money out at election time. Where is that money coming from? So they are lying. What is happening is that there are two types of wicked people in government. Type 1, they eat current money. Any money they find in government, they will eat it. They are wicked about that one. There is type 2. Type 2, they eat current money and future money. They will say, my term will end next year. When I leave, how will I eat money? Let me borrow money now and borrow money of the future and eat it now.
All right, good morning, good morning. Thank you very much for joining us on Good Morning Ghana today. Today is the 17th of July 2025. This is the day the Lord has made, and indeed we're glad in it. We're back again to join the nation's conversation, what's happening in Nigeria country, Ghana. My name once again is Audu Moro, and it's always a pleasure to come your way. Now, we'll go straight ahead and look at what the newspapers are reporting this morning, and I'll start at the front page of today's Daily Graphic. Daily Graphic says that families want state support for autism care, and there's a GT Bank's efforts commended. Monday workshop focuses on inclusion acceptance. Over $227 million, that's $0.6 million, ECG contract terminated. John Jinapo. Mustafa Hamid, 9 others charged for extorting 280 million cedis from oil companies. Teacher licensure exams faces out August 30. The Ghanaian Times. Fight against illegal mining given impetus. AG direct Iyoko to investigate individuals involved. No power outages, Energy Minister. The CEO of Ademos Resources Limited denied fraud allegation. Daily Guide. Gali calls for open access to law. Igbo community disowned so-called king. NDC bigwigs hot over Galamsey. Parliament passes Fisher's bill. 2 arrested for posing as Gold Board task force. The New Republic. Angela lists in $100,000 cash for gold storm. NDC bigwigs caught in Galamsey cross shares Yoko launches probe. EPP government squanders $227 million on scandalous ECG contract. Cocktail of scandals, Hetagrada. Shut up, I bailed you. That's Brian Ichampong arrogantly calls Wuntumi's cut him down to size at MPP meeting. The Insight. Ukraine, Zelensky's export to Ghana. State urges workers to track contributions as it seeks 90% social security compliance. Now, ripples of malfunctioning traffic light and road accident. Yango road safety dragged to court. Complainant demands 5 million cedis compensation, other damages. Government accountability. Energy Ministry makes major strides. Goes solar. Metro Lens. IGP Yohono submits report on 2020-2024 election-related killings and violence. NHI registered 1,644 in Galipe for universal health coverage. Kwewu is not at war. Let the war drums fall silent. That Abena Krontehene warns. Child custody battle. Baba Sam in another contempt suit. Over 20 trapped, 4 dead in Achimwenchi, Galamsey pit collapse. The structure driver runs into Kufado's house, 3 injured. The Daily Searchlight. Minority raises questions of Ibrahim Mohammed's gold mine deal. IBIT, connection hints of insider dealing by Finance Minister Ato Forsen. Military kills 6 at Boku, NDC MPs enraged. Witchcraft woman, 70, beaten to death, 4 persons arrested. When I hear some of these stories, it's just, in 2025. But how do you know the person's a witch? Anyway, Daily Post. Ablekuma North calls for my removal a big joke. Hannah Bisiu. Invest with confidence. Mida CEO champions 24-hour economy as bankable and transparent. OSP declares former finance minister or ministry advisor wanted over SML corruption probe. President Mahama holds Emergency Security Council meeting over Boko chieftaincy conflict. The Business and Financial Times. Standard Chartered deepens investment in women-led tech startups as Bank of Ghana's second deputy governor emphasizes the significance of integrating women more fully into digital economy. Majority of consumers willing to pay more for stable power, PURC survey. June producer price inflation slows to 5.9%. That's lowest in 19 months. 5th consecutive monthly decline driven by easing industrial and services costs. OCTP partners boost gas processing capacity to 270 MMM SCFD. And as government urged to incentivize eco-tourism with tax waivers. All right, so these are the front page stories of the various newspapers received this morning. Please stay with us. This is Good Morning Ghana.
Sometimes the unexpected happens and the hero falls down in his own story. But he needs not stay down for long. Cosmopolitan Health Insurance is your trusted health partner. Whether an individual building a business, with Cosmopolitan Health Insurance, your medical care is our concern. For the best health insurance solutions for corporate institutions, groups and associations, families and individuals, choose Cosmopolitan Health Insurance from our over 700 accredited health service providers nationwide. Call us on 0302 540 668 or 0501 678 547 for all your health insurance solutions. Cosmopolitan Health Insurance, your medical care is our concern.
I'm here at Mycom JA Limited to show you the Promethean Active Panel, the ultimate tool for corporate institutions, hospitals, schools, and your home. With its crystal clear 4K display and an unbreakable screen with an ultra responsive touch technology, this isn't just a screen, it's a game changer. For corporate institutions and in schools, this active panel can be used for Zoom meetings and PowerPoint presentation. And your homes are not left behind. You can use it to watch all your favorite programs by just connecting to a Fire Stick, and you can get access to channels like Netflix and Amazon, and voila, you are in there. At Mycom JA Limited, we provide you with the best quality products from the United States of America with 1-year warranty. You can get an...
I'm a branch manager. Of course, I accept only quality and affordable printed souvenirs for my promotional campaigns.
I'm the head of academic affairs of a very important institution in Ghana. Of course, we only deal with quality, reliable printing companies for our institution's printing materials. I'm talking about appointed time printing.
Appointed Time Printings. We take pride in our extensive print scope that transform your ideas into captivating visual masterpieces. We delve into the core objectives and vision of each print project. Precision printing is at the heart of our printing process as we meet your tight deadlines. Our rigorous inspection, color verification, and overall printing excellence are assured. 20 years of printing excellence. It's always a pleasure working with you to create a vibrant, dazzling printing experience that gives you a masterpiece. Appointed Time Printing, your world of quality and affordable printing.
Brush, 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 brush your teeth. Brush, 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 2 times a day. Brush with Kel-Kit.
Hello, my friends. My name is Kel-Kit Toothpaste.
Wow.
I was made to be gentle on your gum, but protected. I will protect your teeth from cavity, make your teeth whiter, stronger, keep your mouth fresh all day. And best of all, I'm strawberry flavored. So put on a smile and try me.
That's amazing.
Just try me. That's my job.
If you say so, jump on my brush. Makes your teeth stronger, chicky chicky whiter, chicky chicky stronger. Yay! You did it!
I'm glad you like your new toothpaste. Don't forget to brush both day and night.
Kel-Kit, happy smile.
Are you a headmaster, headmistress, parent, teacher, or an educator looking for high-quality textbooks for preschool, primary, and junior high school students? Look no further than Advocate Publishing Company. Advocate Publishing Company is a leading publisher of educational materials in Ghana that publishes very engaging, interactive, and comprehensive textbooks that meet the needs of students, teachers, and parents. Our textbooks are thoroughly published to make learning fun and easy. They are also designed to stimulate critical thinking, problem solving, and creativity in students. Make Advocate Publishing your preferred choice for all your educational needs. Explore our range of textbooks and educational resources. Visit us at the old GNTC yard near Kingsway, Accra. You can contact us on 0503 786 776 or 02408 06354, also 0531 600360, and connect with us on Instagram, X, and Facebook at Advo Publishing. Don't settle for less. Choose the best. Advocate Publishing Company, empowering young minds one textbook at a time. Thinking Publishing, think Advocate Publishing.
I was telling the finance minister, jokingly, we were having a conversation, and I said, look, I've done my projections. I used 15.5. He says, I'm going to drive the thing to 10. It was you I thought about and decided that I'll stay at 12. So this morning I called him, and I said, Minister, but you said because of me, we're going to stay at 12. Because already, by what you're doing, you've shoved off 3 cities, 50 pesos of every dollar of my projections. So if I'm going to do a sale of $4 billion, you've taken off over 12 billion already by virtue of the performance of the city. Is it going to stay at 12? And now, I'm saying that the thing is gone below 12. He says, I'm sorry, my brother, you work with 10.
I see. Which means that Cocoa Board will have to find the extra money.
So it works both ways. Now, it means that for our projections, we are going to have about 5 cities, 50 pesos shaved off every dollar. The flip side too is that for our debt that is denominated in dollars, it sees a reduction. So I now need to do the modeling, the financial modeling, to see where the gains are and where the losses are. But obviously, I've given you one scenario, for example, that by virtue of the performance of the CD, it has adjusted in dollar terms the producer price from 3.1 to close to 4.1. Yet the CD value remains the same.
That you borrow, we buy for 12,000 will be 1 Ghana CD, 20 pesos. A ball of KK, you buy for 1,000 CDs will be 10 Ghana pesos. And your 2,000 church of fare will be 20 Ghana pesos. No change in value. The value is the same. There is no change in value. The value is the same. That you borrow, we buy for.
We said in the budget that we're going to reintroduce road tolls. And so they've been talking about, what the modality should be and all that. But the good thing today is every car is linked to the owner's Ghana card. And so straight digitalized, if it's one city, if you cross the East Legon Bridge, governor and finance minister will all be happy. We just take a picture of your car, and then it will take the bill to your mobile money or your bank account and just pay 1 cedi, only 1 cedi.
Not dollar. I 17 Ghana cedi. No.
But they shouldn't try. We are ever ready. I'm calling on the IGP to make sure he provides security. We are coming here for peace. But anybody who dares will dare. If you did care, we'll do care. Thank you.
All right, so you're live in Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. And this show can also be heard live on 94.1 FM on your radio dial. Now, joining us this morning for a good conversation on what's happening in our dear country, Ghana, is two gentlemen. One of them hasn't been here in a while, understandably so. Apparently he wasn't feeling too well, which is perfectly understandable. But he's, by and large, hale and hearty, and he's made a return to the Good Morning Ghana family. I'm talking about the man, Mr. Richard Ahiagba, who is the Director of Communications of the New Patriotic Party. Good morning, sir. Thank you very much for joining us.
Morning, Mauro.
It's always a pleasure to have you join us.
My pleasure.
But I hope you're alive and kicking now.
Absolutely.
That's great. It's good to, health is everything, isn't it?
Yeah.
And also joining us this morning is Richmond Roxing, who's the head of communications at the Energy Ministry. That's Energy and the Green Transition Ministry. He's also with us this morning. Good morning, Chief. Long time.
Good morning, long time. It's good to see you.
I'm still your friend, though.
Oh no, you've abandoned me.
No, that's not possible.
You've abandoned the masses.
I can't abandon my boss.
Oh,
how go eat?
No, I'm not your boss.
You take care of me for 20 years.
Oh no, you've always been my boss. It's good to see you, actually. And good morning to you.
I'm just serious by the by. He's a good friend. He's a good friend, and it's good to have you join us. In fact, what I heard that you have been appointed as the PRO for the Energy Ministry, I wasn't surprised because I know what competences you have, and so let me use this occasion to congratulate you on this feat that you've chalked. But it's a huge responsibility, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And because we decided to serve, definitely we should be there. We've been in the industry for a while, from private practice as a lawyer and advocacy. Before, I was with IES, and we've contributed our part, and I think it's the best time to do this work for the Mother Ghana, for the ministry and the presidency as well.
I mean, you have been very active in the civil society space for a very long time, and now you find yourself in public service. How's the difference like? Because we're in the civil space, in the civil society space, it's easy to pontificate and say all the right things and so on and so forth. And now you find yourself in a position where you're now supposed to be implementing as per what the public expects, the kinds of things you've been saying in the past. How has the transition been like? How has the change been like?
Oh, it's been okay.
Okay.
The most important thing is the people you work with. I work with a minister who has been an industry player for a long time. He was Deputy Power Minister, Deputy Petroleum Minister. He's been ranking for 8 years, and he has vast experience in the sector. So it's easy to deal with him. The Deputy Minister, Honorable Richard Jan Mensah as well. He's been in the industry for 17 years, so engaging with them is easy. And it serves as a link between the private sector, the civil society, and the government. It's easy to take feedback, and then at the end of the day, try to implement these feedback for the benefit of the people of Ghana.
I was watching a video, that's my final question to you. I was watching a video yesterday by one of a former Deputy Works and Housing Minister and also former Subing MP. That's Eugene Boachi Entry, and he said, even though he's been in politics for a very long time, there's something that has really scared the hell out of him. And that he's seen a situation where in this particular government, there are many, many persons who were in the civil society space who have been drafted into government. And he's wondering whether, so all this while, all the talk and all the criticisms and all the advocacy and things you guys have been waging, was it meant to lobby the NDC for a position in the future? And that he can't. So you, Professor Jampo, I'm sure that the list goes on and on and on and on. I mean, when you hear things like that, what would you tell a person who feels that, look, hey, so Richmond, why you were IES and all the things you're doing, say, why, were you NDC or you were a technocrat, except that you decided to accept a position because they were serving Ghana? How do you respond to persons who feel?
The reality is that you would always want the best of brains,
right,
and you'd want the people of Ghana to contribute to governance. So if you find people who have been instrumental in certain areas, you reach out to them and then you include them. We all preach all-inclusive governance, and over the years, one thing that we've been talking about has to do with the divisive politics that we've seen. So if you have professionals who can contribute, why not? I mean, Richard here used to be with DI. He was in the civil society space.
Right.
At the end of the day, he's been in the political space, contributed his quota. You've had people who have transitioned to become actual politicians, and you've had people who have just come in to serve. For me, it's the best that at all material times you should have such people around to contribute. You know what, the current electoral commissioner, for example, had been in IEA for several years, and now she's been electoral commissioner. Right. You're expecting her to implement the things that she was saying, because in the past she had advocated for things that government felt would be best, and now you are in the seat. So I welcome people in such space. It's not about politics, it's not about interest, it's about service to our nation.
Okay, that's interesting. But I'm sure life has changed in many ways, hasn't it? I mean, you don't have a life now. You get up every day, phone calls from media, people wanting to know what's happening. I'm sure even in your area, when the lights go off, they'll call you.
No, absolutely. Once the lights are on, the good thing is that the lights have been on for a long time. You would recall that when we took over the reins of government, it was a very difficult situation, very challenging. In December 2024, we shedding load of about 750 megawatts, and the data from Gridco will show that the whole of last year we're shedding load. That problem has been fixed. In the last 3-4 months, there hasn't been any load shedding. So the calls have reduced significantly. Now you're dealing with people who have peculiar challenges, and I'll use the opportunity to encourage the public that once your light goes off, call 0302 611 611. The Electricity Company of Ghana's line is active. They will send a team to take care of it. They've established more teams now. Now they have 4 more teams in Accra. And they are also running 24 hours, in line with the President's vision of having 24-hour economy. So that has reduced the pressure on all of us. The phone calls about outages and my lights are out, and we are getting there. We are getting there.
Okay. All right. So, Richard, I'm happy that you're here because you have a very big event and it's a very important one. And from tomorrow, I'm sure that people will start arriving at the venue. I'm talking about your upcoming, National Delegates Conference. How has preparations been like so far? Why is this event important, and what should we expect?
Oh, thank you. Good morning to your viewers, and good morning to my brother. Congratulations on your appointment. We'll talk about the politics part of it. And,
very important.
And what he was doing and how that connects to where he is now. But
I'd left advocacy for a long time. I concentrated on private practice.
So you
about 7 years.
So it's the end goal we're talking about. But it's deserving. I think that we should encourage it. If our politics is such that people are given opportunities based on merit, not with respect to their political colors, I think that it will serve us well. But I'm sure and clear in my mind that he's not red, blue, and white. And so it is not so much an inclusion, but it is so much an inclusion from one quarters, which is not bad to say. Our national annual delegate.
You just recovered. Take it easy. I beg you, take it easy.
My brother appreciates what I'm talking about. So,
yeah, no, he does.
But it's all commendation for him, and I hope he does well. The conference, as you rightly said, starts tomorrow. Delegates starts arriving in Accra, and then the effective conference starts on Saturday. We're aiming to start at 8 a.m.
Okay.
It's going to be very brisk business on the day. The key item on our agenda is amendment proposals. So there'll be about 300 or so motions that will be considered by delegates to be added to our constitution, some changes, some additions. The headline proposal is the proposal to expand our electoral college. It's a very key feedback that we've got all the way from polling stations to national, and that we need to expand the electoral college, that it appears very exclusive and very few people have the opportunity to participate in the selection of the leaders of our party, be it parliamentary and presidential. So that amendment will be considered. We have made, of course, you heard challenges of or news about COVID rearing its head around the Legon campus area. We have put in place very effective measures to deal with that. There are health stalls that will be about 10 of them that will be installed. We have about 50 health volunteers. We have an emergency support arrangement with UGMC. Ghana National Ambulance Service is on notice to provide support on the day. And so clearly we are set for that day. The only thing I would use your medium to say is to encourage all delegates coming to be conscious of security, of health matters, and that when they come, they take responsibility for those things. And also to use the opportunity to advise other party members who are not delegate to understand that the business on Saturday is exclusively for delegates. And so therefore, if you are not a delegate, there will be no need for you to be there. We have made very extensive arrangements to cover the proceedings on TV, and thanks to your partnership with us, I mean, we're going to have it literally on all screens, on social media, and across wherever you can consume the product. And so it will be better for them to watch from home so that they can allow the delegates whose mandate it is to deliberate the matters and accept or decline the proposals that all of us have put forth to our constitution to ensure that we have a peaceful and a very quiet day on Saturday so we can close. We're aiming to close as soon as probably by 2, 3, so people can get back on the journey back home. So I think that so far, so good.
What time is it starting?
I was starting at 8. And I think that one of your questions was whether what the importance, importance of it. I think that is key. Our constitution organizes our party at the national level, and it said so. The highest governing body of our party is the annual National Delegate Conference. So we're meeting. It's required for us to meet once every year, and the constitution structure requires that this organization or conference is well from the constituency region, and then the larger gathering, which would have been the annual national conference happening on Saturday. And so it's a key item on our calendar as a party for us to meet, make decisions for the party, and then matters affecting the party's well-being is discussed at that point. So it is the meeting of the party's decision-making body to think and take key decisions affecting the party going forward, and especially as a party reorganizing, rebuilding, following the feedback that we took from the post-election review committee's recommendations. I think that this is a very, very momentous hour for us to internalize all the proposals that have been brought and apply some strong will to embrace the proposals that have been put forward, or reject them, all with a view of ensuring that the rebuilding process of the party goes on as expected, so that right from conference we'll be on a sound footing to take our party's rebuilding exercise forward. The theme we are operating with, which is rebuilding together with our values, is very consequential and revealing to us that this is the hour for us to work together. This is the hour for us to reconnect with our heritage, reconnect with the values that endeared our party from formation, way back UGCC era through the UP and all the other formations that have come, the PP era, now the New Patriotic Party, that we connect with the values that drove our forebears, the values that made our party the hope and treasure of this country. That is how we're going to be able to bring back the support. That's how we're going to bring back the excitement about our party. That's how we're going to mobilize the good people of Ghana to realize that in just 7 months, in 8 months, this government has started in a massive way disappointing us, violating our expectations and all the hopes that is set for us in December 2024. They've dashed all of them. That's how we're going to let people see that we are different from the National Democratic Congress, that we are not the same, that we have values superior to them, and that if we were in government, at the United Nations, we would be clear to let the world know that as a country, we do not support, we will not support any tendency that is contrary to what we are groomed on, that a man ought not to marry to a man not ought to have anything to do with another man, a woman not ought to have anything to do with another woman, that the traditional grooming that we've had, a man and a woman are supposed to be married and nothing other than that. So we are reconnecting with our values to ensure that Ghana finds its right footing, that Ghana reconnects with its roots as well, that we are people of tradition, we are people of culture, and our way of life is distinct and unique. And so that is the importance of this conference for us. And we believe that we'll come out of conference looking stronger, focused, and get our reorganization or rebuilding process on course so that Ghana can see a new patriotic party.
Mm-hmm. But I hope when you say it's 8 o'clock, it's 8. And what time are you hoping to close to end the
well, 8 o'clock, that's what we have on a bill, but then it's subject to arrival. And maybe Saturday is not that bad in terms of traffic, but it's subject to all the delegates being at the stadium at a time that would allow for us to start at 8. But we're shooting for 8, which means that we'll be whipping all the leaders to bring their people to the stadium on time. And the transport arrangement will have to be prompt so that they can be there as early as possible. The goal is to close whilst there's daylight. And so as soon as possible, if we start, we can then close. The key items on the bill, the main thing, essentially, according to Article 10 of our Constitution, that structure the conference, I think we have a statement from the National Chairman to be deliberated upon, a statement from the General Secretary, reports by the General Secretary to be deliberated upon, and a statement of account by the Treasurer. And those are the key items. And then any other matter, in this case, the amendments that is before conference to deliberate upon. So I think that if we start early, all things being equal, by 2-3, we should be done.
The reason I'm asking is because we as media, we have complained several times about, and it's both parties, the timing, the time of the commencement of your national programs and the time that you end, because you see the media houses plan their the coverage of the event based on the time that you give us.
That's true.
So if, for instance, you say you start at 8 and they are on from 8, they've planned accordingly, and the show doesn't start at 8, it has a way of disrupting the flow of things. And then you say it closes at 3, and sometimes it goes all the way to about sometimes 6, 7. It means you need to get more hands and so on and so forth. And then it can be very inconveniencing to us. So I think that the two political parties will really have to look at this and make sure that if it's 8, it's 8, if it's 9, it's 9, and if it's 3, it's 3 or 4, that kind of thing. I don't know where the difficulty lies, but we have to get to that point. Don't you think so?
But
it's a real challenge.
We all have to get to that point as a country. The Ghana time syndrome. It's just that people know when they have to be there, but then they would come later because they think their fellow Ghanaian would be late, and so they plan to be late. And that's just the situation we all have to deal with. But our best effort is to try and get us started by 8. And we think that if we have a certain about 2/3 or a good number present, I think that conference will start. But of course, when you guys when you are there, there will be plenty of content for you, so you can preoccupy Ghanaians with those engagements before we switch to the podium. I think that we're probably latest by 8:30 thereabout. There will be activity coming out from the main program. We're sure about that.
Because you see, we also have to understand that there are people who may not necessarily be MPP and DC, depending on which program we're talking about, and they have actually planned their day based on what you've promised them. And so if I have an appointment, by 4 o'clock I'll be there because the MPP program will end at 3. So then I'm watching, and I don't want to stop watching because I have keen interest in what's happening there. And then it's 3:30, it's 4 o'clock. So then you're caught in a dire strait of a sort? True. Do you abandon the program and attend your meeting? You know, and so if everybody had told me to would have ended at 5, I would have planned my meeting accordingly. Right. So I think the only way to deal with this is to start on time. Whether or not the place, whether or not you've been able to achieve a quorum. I mean, for there's no quorum strict.
Well, the quorum is key. But you know, Moro, it is your father and my father's generation, they suffered what you just described.
I know.
But you and I, you can, on the palm of your hands, Metro provides that connectivity, right, for you to be able to
watch on the go.
Watch on the go. Metro does that. That's why you are all the time investing in all these very nifty technologies to get people to be connected. So on that score, that provision will be there. But as I said, we will try and get started. That's a good culture for us to all aspire to get, so that our country can be efficient. And all this lack of productivity that the NDC has brought will change it, but at least beginning to be on time. We will start that tomorrow. Saturday by being on time, and I think you guys can copy that aspect. Yes.
You know, so a colleague of mine here, Vanessa, she's just sent me this, what I'll call a public notice.
Right.
And it's about media accreditation. And it reads, National Annual Delegates Conference Media Accreditation Notice. All media organizations, journalists, vloggers and bloggers interested in covering the 2025 National Annual Delegates Conference of the NPP are kindly invited to complete the accreditation process at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium. And it says accreditation tags will be issued on the spot. The date is Friday, 18th July 2025. Time is 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Venue is University of Ghana Sports Stadium, Legon. Thank you for your interest in covering this important event. Richard Ahiagba, you signed this. Now, what she wants to know is, she said I should ask you if a media house can come and pick on behalf of their colleague, or you have to be there personally.
I think that you have to be there personally. Okay. Yes. Earlier on, there's some registration process that is ongoing. Some people haven't had a chance to do so electronically, so we are providing the opportunity for new registration as well as picking the tag. So those who have registered already can just come there, verify their name, and get their tags. And those who haven't will have the opportunity to do the registration tomorrow.
Okay. So, Vanessa, I'm sure you've heard that. So you have to be there in person, whoever we're going to be deploying to cover this event. But what I can tell you is that Metro TV is your election central. And I'm talking about the Ignite Media Group. And so, please, there's only one media house in Ghana that covers elections much better than everybody else. And so, tune in to Metro TV, original TV, and original radio. We'll bring you the best of coverage that we can promise you. But Richard, let me ask you this before I bring in Richmond. Yesterday, I had one of your colleagues was here. I've forgotten the name of Collins. And there was this debate about the power of the National Council of your party. What was the matter in the issue? The party's National Council has made a decision, which is on the 31st of January next year, you will be electing your flag bearer to obviously contest the 2028 elections. Now, there are people who are saying that decision is cast in stone, is cast in iron. You can't change it, not even by the conference. And there are also others who say that their reading of your party's constitution doesn't say so, and that once the conference is the highest decision-making body of your party, the conference's decision can overturn or override or cancel whatever decision has been made by the National Council. We need some education from you on this matter. Can conference decide that yes, even though the party has made a decision, the National Council has made a decision, that next year, 31st January, this is what we're going to do. But conference, we're saying that no, we're either bringing it back or we're moving it forward, depending on whatever reasons conference would adduce for that particular decision. And also, the bigger context is this whole back and forth and people expressing their opinion and, you know, reservations about the Congress, which is January 31. And the talk about it's too early, give the aspirants some more time to, you know, to spread their message and to sell their markets, to market themselves, etc., etc. You've heard the likes of Boache, Jakun, and all, Kennedy Japan, and so on, who have all said that, look, the early Congress doesn't make sense because it's like you're building a house and you're roofing it before you're building the foundation. I'm sure you've heard all those, you know, dissenting opinions about the decision. So my question to you is, what really are the powers of the conference? Can they overrule everything that either the NEC or the National Council or the FEC has decided, or they have limitations?
Thank you, Maura. Let me just read Article 13(1) of our Constitution, and I think that's where the matter is.
Okay.
And this was litigated extensively, and that day I was in council, and it was a very spirited debate. Everybody, lawyers, non-lawyers, from common sense standpoint, made the case, what the language of Constitution says. Right. And it was clear when a vote was called, majority felt that it was the right thing to do, that council is properly within its right to fix a date, and that's what it ought to be. And that's just how the cookie crumbles, right? That's how democracy works. It's majority. It doesn't matter what the debate has been. When the vote is called, the majority says this is the direction we'll go, we go. And so for me, I don't think that there is any more quibbling to be done. But I will just read the Constitution to just clarify the matter. So this is Article 13, and if you have different versions based on amendment of our Constitution, you would see this to be 12, but this is the Constitution amended as at 2017. And it says that the election of the party's presidential candidate shall be held not later than 24 months from the date of the national election. The date and venue, this is where the emphasis is, the date and venue for the election shall be decided by the National Council, provided, however, that the National Council may, on appropriate occasion, vary the date.
Oh, okay.
It is in the bosom of National Council to make that decision. National Council has made that decision. It wasn't a unilateral decision. It was a consensus decision. I maintain I was in the room. I didn't hear any name when the vote was called. It was a rank calls, yes, we want it. The concerns on the part of others who says that if we do it now, it's top down and all of that, they are legitimate concerns. We've not done this before. But the point of democracy is that we agree to do something. Once we agree, we do it. Okay, we haven't done it before, so what if our life depended on it? Should we not do it because we have not done it before, because it's from top down? At least you are doing something. You have a difficulty. You have a reorganization to do, you have a rebuilding to do. You've always been building from the ground up. And then you're faced with a different set of realities, and you say, well, maybe this time, let's build from the top down. I don't believe it's top down, but when they want to call it like that, let's just use that nomenclature. So from top down, we'll do that. It's because you want to see if that gets you something different. Right. And I can see what that can get you. Okay? Fear is at the core of all invitations to change. But the point for me is that we are cautiously moving. And the point is, if you calculate and say, what would it get us if we have a candidate today? Today that the NDC in government told us they will do 24-hour economy. Now they have come to resurrect Nkrumah's vision. Okay, say, oh, it's Nkrumah's vision and we want to do it. They didn't tell us they're coming to pursue Nkrumah's vision. They said that we have a present problem, they have 24-hour economy to fix it. So this is not a quick fix they promise us. If we have a flag bearer today, he will be out there and call the president out. We have an arrowhead who will guide our communication.
Right.
If we have a flag bearer today, this rather confusing situation to do with the exchange rate, Bank of Ghana says that, oh, this is the rate. And people who are dealing with the market says that that's not how we are getting it. That confusion will be called out by our candidate. Okay? Any peacemaking and bridge building effort within our party, which we know we have a lot of internal, redress to do. If we have a flag bearer today, we'll deal with it. Lastly, presidential primaries are essentially inherently divisive. It happens in the NDC, it will be divisive. It happens internally, it will be divisive. The democracy by its nature divides people. It divides and then brings together. But it takes time to bring those fractures together. So if we do it now, we'll have plenty of time to bring all those fractures, mend all those broken bridges on the basis of internal contest for leadership, which is legitimate and the nature of democracy. So with that, who wouldn't want to do this early? If you are building your house from the roof, from the top down, and you have devised a strategy to do it and it works, who says it's wrong? If you can do it. This whole business, before I conclude, this whole business of getting man to fly, to fly in an airplane, to fly in anything, it was alien. People mocked it and said, but what makes you think we can fly? We can't fly without wings. But the Wright brothers persisted. They were mocked. If you read their story, in their neighborhood, people would climb over their fence and look at them. Those are the lunatics who think that they can fly. But somehow they persisted and they flew. And today we are flying. Right? By the time I came here, if our or any of the airlines flying from the old terminal going to Kumasi, somebody from Accra here, that by the time I came to sit here, it has landed in Kumasi. But if you sit in a bus to go to Kumasi now, it's a whole day affair. Because of their persistence, because of their dream. So we can find something. We can discover something by this process. All it takes and requires from us as members of the New Patriotic Party is to apply ourselves, focus, and do what democracy asks us to do, go along with the majority decision. So what National Council has decided, I think, is right. It is within the power of National Council. It may not be the best according to Mr. A, Mr. B, but that's the popular position. That's the majority position. Let's all apply ourselves and make it our reality and bring it to fruition. That, for me, is the way to go. And our Constitution is clear about that. That as a member of the New Patriotic Party, you must at all times abide and uphold and publicly uphold the decisions of the party. That, whether you call it top down, whichever down, is the decision of the party, and any member who is not adhering to that, who is not abiding and publicly upholding it, is going against the Constitution. And in a proper situation, such people ought to be disciplined, in my view. They ought to be disciplined, whether big, small, or what. They ought to be disciplined. So that's a challenge, and we need to fix it. But as far as the decision is concerned, it is a proper decision taken by structures of the party. And as a member, the Constitution asks you to abide by that. It's not about me. It's not about you. It's not about anybody. It's about the party. And the only thing that glues us together is our Constitution. So when people begin to pick and choose which decision they want to abide by, then we are no longer being a party. We are no longer respecting our Constitution. I think that such people, with all due respect, ought to fall in line. Most of them have done this years. But the point is that if you are not happy with what decision is being taken now, the same rule that applied yesterday is the same rule. It's the same Constitution. So it doesn't change. So let's do our duty to our Constitution by abiding by the decisions of the party. The people who are at the helm of the party today may not be there tomorrow. Okay? So that is the integrity we must have to to the document to say that it is not about those who are there. It's about the document that we all subscribe to say that this is the decision of the party. Doesn't matter what my position is. It doesn't matter I just joined the party today or I've been there a long time.
Right.
What made it a party that I believed in and joined for many years is because of this constitution.
Right.
And so therefore, the party, the Daroches, the Odoisags and the Alajetes left for us is the same party. And so if you must respect the party yesterday, or if you respect the party yesterday, you should respect it today because that document never changes.
All right. And it appears that you drew your inspiration to do an early Congress, an early Congress, from the numerous proposals that were forwarded to the party. Because Annie has just sent to me on 18th June 2025.
Why is Annie busy sending you stuff about our party?
Well, that's her job. Her job is to send me some more information, you know. And it's just to buttress and validate what you're saying. And it says circulation of proposals for amendment to the constitution of the new patriotic party. The date is 18 June 2025, and it goes to all party executives and members. And you look at chapter 2 of it. It talks about there's quite a number of proposals there.
Yeah, about
a lot.
Yeah,
I wonder how
about
you finish all of
300
that on Saturday.
Oh yes.
Whoa.
I mean, it's not it's voice vote.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. So it's mentioned
Yeah.
yea or nay, yea or nay, you know. And so here, it says the that's the election of the presidential candidate. I was reading it.
This article 13 is what you're looking.
Yeah, thereabouts. Yeah. But when I see it out, I'll read it.
Okay.
Just to buttress the point you made earlier, which is just not some kind of an opinion by anybody, but there's a groundswell of proposal for that to happen, and so the party is just listening to its members. So,
and honestly, the
it.
point is that you can't expect different outcomes if you continue to do the same thing, right?
Yeah.
So if you ask me, maybe we should do it the same old way. But the popular decision by council is that let's mix it up.
Yeah.
So ours is to find a way to do it, right? You have a nice looking plate of fruits before you. They could make it into a smoothie for you, but you have decided to make the smoothie yourself by eating it one after another. That's the same thing. You understand? So we're just trying to get to the same destination using different approaches. And I think that this approach gives us immediate readiness to engage the government. And by 31st, if all things being equal, we are able to select our flag bearer, whoever the person is, we have a rallying point as a party. And that would aid our rebuilding process and make it even faster and more efficient. I think it will help us. The challenges notwithstanding, we are here to solve problems. If we cannot figure out this, how do we possibly hope to be able to solve Ghana's problems? Just by agreeing to elect a flag bearer. If we can't agree to do that, how can we agree on matters consequential to the destiny and the livelihoods of people?
Because Ghanaians are watching.
Country? Absolutely. And I think that all the individuals who have things to say about it is not because they don't see the value of it. Maybe it's because they feel one way or the other. It hinders their own politics. But I think that this is not the time to prioritize self. It's the time to prioritize us, to prioritize the party, and see to it that the party is resolute and ready to move in a direction that would help Ghanaians. Right now, our preoccupation is how we can hold the NDC accountable, all right, to cause that their mandate is useful, their mandate yield dividend for Ghanaians, that the 4 years that we have given them is not a wasted period. Our history tells us that any time the NDC is in government, they leave a big hole, we come fix it, and they dig more hole, and we come and fix it. Hopefully this 4 years, if we have a candidate flag bearer early, he will stop them from digging deeper. And that for me is useful. And that for me is something we ought to support, not individual politics. As for that, time will deal with it once we get the process underway.
Okay. All right. So, Richard Anyagba, this is just recovered, and so wouldn't want him to, would want him to just drink some water as a way of taking a breather. He's been talking for almost 20 minutes or so.
Over
So
30 minutes.
please just give us a minute. Richard wants to take some water. We'll be back shortly. We'll be back shortly.
Yes, next. Hey, Nadia Benson, Asamo.
Me didn't tum. Mr. Friendly Calico, just call me cockroach. Now, Mr. Friendly once now. Hey, that's you. Improve car. Yeah. Captain Mosquito, double the accent. Me did it, Sasso spray. Mr. Friendly Sasso quell. Yeah, cool to my Sasso. Come tum preko.
MGL Logistics and Supply is your trusted partner, providing seamless solutions for all your procurement needs. From sourcing products to managing imports and exports, we ensure smooth and efficient transactions every step of the way. Whether you require goods from across the globe or need assistance in exporting your products to international markets, we got you covered. General trading is at the heart of our expertise. We specialize in a wide range of products, catering to various industries and markets. As a trusted dealership in building materials, we provide high-quality products that meet the demands of our construction projects. Additionally, we act as manufacturers' representatives, connecting producers with distributors. Our expertise in logistics is the backbone of our operations. We plan and execute transportation and delivery of goods, ensuring they reach their destination on time and in optimal condition. MGO Logistics and Supply, guaranteed satisfaction.
Buy affordable service plots and lands from estate masters. Currently selling our next cottage, located at the newly proposed airport city, with a starting price of 25,000 Ghana cedis. We also have Palm Hills, located at Panfukro in the Gomwa East District, also with a starting price of 15,000 Ghana cedis. Available also is Coastal Park in Akleku, which is a 15-minute drive from the Ngo Senior High School, having a starting price of 55,000 Ghana cedis. You will receive a free site plan with indenture once you successfully purchase a land from us. For any enquiries, contact the numbers provided. Estate Masters, your most preferred estate partner.
A home is more than just walls and a roof. It's the warmth of family, the assurance of security, and the joy of shared moments. Whether you're returning from abroad or seeking a new beginning, Rehoboth Havens Ayimensa is where your journey truly begins. Nestled beneath the tranquil Ebri Mountains, this gated community offers the perfect blend of modern living and natural beauty. Our 2, 3, and 4
So you're live on Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. I'm here with Mr. Richard Ahiagba, who's the Director of Communications of the New Patriotic Party, and also Richmond Roxing, who's the Head of Communications at the Energy and Green Transition Ministry. Both of them are here. Now, Richmond, you have some thoughts to share on the upcoming MPP's national conference. By the way, so sorry, before he even comes in, how's the national chairman doing? Stephen Ayesu team?
Yeah, he's doing well.
He's doing well.
Yes.
Would he be able to be physically present?
I'm not sure he'll be there, but he's doing well.
Okay. Yeah. So for now, the former president, the 2 former presidents, were told to be joining digitally.
They'll be joining digitally, yeah. President Kufuor and His Excellency Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, yes.
All right. Richmond. Would you be there?
Oh, absolutely no.
As an observer?
No. I have no business with the elephant.
Okay. But before you even go ahead, Andy said I should ask you that You've been keeping time. Are you the timekeeper for the program? She wants to know, out of curiosity.
It's fine. He's been speaking for long, and for someone who is just recovering, he saves energy.
They are on borrowed time. That's why he's checking.
Richard, both of you are Richard. Can you imagine?
In fact, he's Richard. That's my brother's name and my father's name as well. So it's a common name in my
so I thought Roxanne was your...
No, that's my surname.
Oh, Roxanne is your surname. Yes. That's Richard is your first.
Richmond.
So that's your dad.
Technically.
So it must be him.
Anyway, I mean, ordinarily, I wouldn't cry more than the bereaved. It's their party. Now more than ever, they need to. They said a theme for their congress or conferences, rebuilding together with
our values.
With our values, and I'm wondering which values they are talking about because if we look at this same political party a few months ago, you could tell, and it reflects in the results that we all saw. If a political party can move all the way from the seats they had to about 84 now, they call themselves micro-minority now. And you look at the difference in votes.
You call us micro-minority.
Oh, you are micro-minority.
We are the mighty minority.
We are micro-minority. And if you look at the difference in votes, you're looking at about 1.7 million votes and 57%. Some say 38% for them, others put it at 42%. That's a major defeat. And for a party that has experienced this major defeat, they will have to reflect. I thought that they would rather use their 2009 or 2010 theme, which was reflect, rebuild, and recapture, because they need the reflection more than anything. And that's why you have a number of their party members, leading party members, requesting for the Michael Quay report, because that is now how do they know the ills to correct them beyond what the people of Ghana have told them. There's a report that has been put out by Professor Michael Quay, which is being kept like a holy grail. They don't know the details. They don't know what they're dealing with. They don't know the problem. We've had people like Boacheja Akumo, people like Eugene Nchi, OPK, and the rest ask for copies of these reports, because how do you reflect? How do you rebuild when you don't know your problems? But even core members of their party have not had copies of the report. And if you look at the proposals that they have, if you have over 300 proposals, it should tell you the challenges that the people of your own political party feel and the state of your party. So just look back, reflect. I think that you should read Dr. Arthur Kennedy's book again, Chasing the Elephant into the Bush, The Politics of Complacency. It will help you, because what happened between 2001 and 2008 is what was anticipated, or what we saw in its higher form between 2017 to 2024, where you had political party office holders or even government appointees openly disrespect the people of Ghana. You will ask for a timetable for load shedding, and the minister can look into your eyes and tell you, go and do your own timetable. You have pensioners, people whose own investments, whose own monies are with the government of Ghana, go picket for weeks, and you don't even have the finance minister or the government even having a modicum of respect to even address them when they are sitting in the sun. You are the former Chief Justice of the Republic, her leadership, Sophia Akufu, demonstrates openly, the first time we are seeing that in the history of this country. And all this goes to show how the party conducted itself when they were in government. So they should, and it doesn't show that they've learned, because they are still on the same tangent. If you look at their parliamentary candidates, or even the members of parliament, and how they act, if you look at how some of the party executives conduct themselves, they still feel they are in power. They still exude that level of arrogance and that level of complacency. And then they must take a step back to be able to reflect, question why the people of Ghana kicked them out. In fact, they were not just voted, they were booted out of government. And that should be their guiding principle as they are going into this election. There are people who feel that this bottom-up or this top-down approach that they are going is just a scheme by the current executives and the immediate past flag bearer to still hold on to power, because the electoral college that elected them may not significantly change unless, of course, the amendments that they are looking at, that's the expansion of the electoral college, comes through. Otherwise, it will be practically the same people, which will mean that the same people will get the immediate past flag bearer elected. And that's why some of them have called for that, because you don't build from the top to down. You go through your foundation, you get to your block laying level, your lintel, and then you put your roof. But if you decide that you are starting from the roof down to foundation, obviously it means that there's something wrong. So I wish them well on Saturday. I hope that they will actually reflect. The reflection is very important, and they left that out. You cannot rebuild without reflecting. So reflect, share the reports. There's nothing to be afraid. Your key members of your party you can't hide the reports from them. They need to know exactly what happened to be able to take lessons from it. If they disagree, that's fine. If they agree, and they'll be able to do what to be guided. So I wish them well on Saturday. We've been told by the Ghana Health Service and the University of Ghana that there's COVID-19 in the air. I hope that your people will put on their mask. We don't want any outbreak out of what you've done already. Your incompetence in government has shown. We don't want you to also put that out by the time you are there. Because Lagos itself had banned public gatherings. So it was even shocking that they allowed the New Patriotic Party to be able to go with that ban. Put in enough health measures to be able to protect the people of Ghana. We don't want any health outbreak. And the values he mentioned, I was surprised he went on that tangent. He made a comment about LGBT. I mean, you were in government a few months ago. Reverend Intim Fojo, Sam George and co. came together. One of the few times you have NPP and NDC work together. They got Parliament to pass the family values bill. And what did you do? Surreptitiously, you wrote a letter that the matter was in court when the suit had not even been filed. The president made reference to a suit that had not been filed, and then miraculously the next day we saw the suit filed, an action commenced by Richard Sky, and then the suit was determined, and the president still refused to sign. He refused to accent the bill into law. So for you to now mention that if you were in government, you would have been bold to take a vote at the United Nations, and that you would have been bold to stick to our culture and values. You had the opportunity a few months ago, and you failed to do that. And at the end of it, because of the term of Parliament has passed, we'll have to start that whole process again. Meanwhile, you could have just accented to this bill, and then we'll proceed. So I don't know which values he's talking about. The president himself, at the time, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the former president, when he was asked on BBC Hard Talk about LGBT, what was his response? He said it was bound to happen. That he lived in the United Kingdom, and at the time there was nothing like that, and that if there's a groundswell of support for it, definitely it's bound to happen. So that will be your value. And she's the president, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has been very clear. He said it over and over again that under his watch, there's no way we are going to legitimize LGBT. So let's look at it. He also mentioned that the government has been disappointing. Shocking. Maybe pay your standards. Because your government a few months ago, you commended them for doing well, and the people of Ghana told you in the face that you had failed. In the history of this Fourth Republic, we haven't experienced the level of results we saw a few months ago, where your MPs lost totally and your presidential candidate was humiliated. And that should tell you that your government was disappointing. So far, so very good. If you look at the gains that have been made since January till now, the reset agenda is on. All sectors are experiencing that. Look at the education sector. The calendar has been changed. PTAs, Parent Teachers Association has been restored under your watch. What did you do? You kicked teachers out of the conversation, and teachers would just go meet, and they can't even talk because if you speak, you'll be attacked. In the energy sector, you can see the gains. Yesterday, my boss outlined a number of gains. If you look at the petroleum sector, you had a lot of investors, that's upstream, a lot of investors ran out of this country. You made noise about Gazprom and ExxonMobil. In 8 years, what did they do? We all left, Aker Energy and all those companies. We had our reserves decline from over 70 million to about 40 million. If you look at the utilization decision that the government made, within weeks, that matter was resolved by this government. Something that had been on our books, we had gone to court, we gone to arbitration, and then we were still on. We had the same issue with Talu, and those issues have been addressed, and it's giving investors confidence to come back. If you look at the exchange economy, recently there was a business survey, and then the result was that over 70% of CEOs believe that the country is in the right direction. So what results are you talking about? If you look at the 24-hour economy, DVLA is running 24 hours, the port is running 24 hours, the Gantry Atema Oil Refinery is running 24 hours, Kanagas is doing 24 hours, Ghana Cylinder Manufacturing is doing 24 hours, the passport office. I can go on and on and on and on. So that policy already is being implemented, and very soon, definitely, we will see it across all sectors, as was promised by His Excellency the President. So I wish them well. They can continue to orchestrate and scheme for Dr. Bawumia to become the flag bearer. Be rest assured that if they bring him back in 2028, or whoever they bring, I doubt that the way His Excellency the President is determined, and then the way NDC is governing the country with the research agenda, they are going to even make 30%. But we wish them well, and we hope that they will take the defeat. In fact, they will be awakened, and they will realize that they've been defeated, they've been kicked out by Ghanaians, and that the needed reforms should be done. As a political party, we don't want a mono state, even though the NDC would want to be in power for years. We will wish them well, and then we'll pray that they make some good reforms on Saturday.
Well, my good brother has finished preaching. The idea that they have been good so far is his market scheme. The president did that on the, is it 120 day or so?
No, the Ghanaian, the people of Ghana scheme. And you've had independent surveys, not by the NDC, not by government officials, confirming that the country is in the right direction. That you cannot dispute.
I am talking about the address that the president wrote, graded himself that night, came to tell us that he's performed in unprecedented way.
No, I think that it's easy to determine that. If I promise to give you a cup of if I promise to give you a cup or a bottle of water, and I've delivered the water, it's easy to determine that. It's easy to mark that.
No problem. Yes. That's your analogy.
No, that's the president had a social contract for 120 days, so it's easy to mark that.
Yes,
that is not so.
I'm saying that it's easy to mark it. Is that not the case?
That is so.
You promised to deliver a bottle of water. So.
Yes.
And me, who you say you have delivered the water to, I have not tasted any water.
No, the people have.
And you say that it should be easy to tell.
No, the people
who
have.
Should tell?
The
Is
people.
it me or you?
The people.
So if the people, I have not received the water, you say I delivered it. Now the point is that if they have delivered the water, what is the need for him to tell me that he has delivered water to me? I know he has delivered water. He has not delivered any water. So he's forcing the issue.
But no matter how many bottles you give him, you say you still not deliver the water.
No, it's not true.
That, of course, you are.
If I have to drink water,
yes,
and the bottle in front of me is empty, or there's water in it, I say I'm thirsty, then I'll be the odd one. I won't drink water. There's water, but I don't have water. There's an empty bottle before me, and he has to come that night to tell everybody that he has delivered a bottle of water to us to create the impression for you, Moro, that me sitting in my house I have water, but I haven't. That's the point. That's why he has to come and tell us that.
No, that's not
it.
It's
okay, but I don't expect you to agree. But that's the fact.
That's not a fact.
That's a fact.
That's not a fact.
No problem. You see, you argue against the people.
No,
this is the people.
No, you are not part of the people.
No, we are. But yeah, you are supposed to be caring for us. And now when we are telling you are paid, you say no, we are not in pain. We are in pain.
You are in pain.
We are in pain.
You are in pain.
Just yesterday,
yes, you
have increased our petrol by 4 cedi 50 pesos. When I say now, you say no, Richard, you are not suffering. Yeah. That's what you say.
No. It's important to put that conversation in context. The increase that you are talking about 4 cedis. What did we meet in general?
Hold on. The 4 Ghana cedi 50 pesos per gallon.
Yes.
It is real.
Yes.
I am having to pay for it. I am having to pay for it. Do you agree or disagree?
Of course. And the president.
So
No, you can't end
Just
there.
hold on.
You can't.
I'll give you 30 seconds. Hold on.
Oh, no.
Now the point is that I'll give you
30 seconds.
See, he's trying to say that I'm not feeling pain, but I am. Who is best to tell when they are suffering? It is the man suffering. Now you are doing all these skirmishes about removing fuel coupon and all of that. The fuel they are dumping at Castle, at the fuel depots that they are going to draw, they should stop that one. Okay? They should stop that one too. So that all of us will buy the fuel so they know. So this thing, you are increasing the thing and telling us that we shouldn't be crying about it, that it is good so far. It's a fallacy. It is telling us, looking us in the face, and we are hungry, and you are looking at us as though you are full. What kind of insult is that?
No.
And 7 months into government, this is what you are doing to the people. 7 months. We are hungry, we are telling you, say, no, Moro is eating, he didn't give us any. But he's not telling us that we are full.
No.
Okay? If we...
No, you see,
hold on, I'm coming. Let me just
What he's failing to say.
No, there is no failure.
No. What he's failing to say is that what he's failing to mention here is that at the time we took off the reins of government, fuel prices were around 17 Ghana cedis. No. Let me finish.
It's my time. You can't finish in my time.
No, you said you give me 30 seconds.
No, that is gone.
No, it's not gone. No.
Hold on. I'm coming.
At the time,
so let's do this.
No, let me just.
He gave me the thing. He's taking his thing back. You let him know.
That's what they did in government. That's what they did in government.
So that we can have an orderly conversation.
They said no haircuts, and we had a haircut.
Okay,
we've had that conversation.
I want him to learn.
That's why we have voted and you have won. So if you are bringing the conversation of yesterday here, it's not relevant. The conversation today, fine, you can have that, but I want to have the conversation about today where you are increasing the fuel. Okay. Now this whole thing about it was 17 and it came down. Who doesn't like a break?
Right.
Who doesn't like a break? So you came and you are saying that the thing has come down and it is going up. So it's not going up just because it came down before. It's going up. So stop telling us that logic as if we can't think properly. You said the thing was high. You have brought it down. Now it's going high again.
So you agree we've brought it down?
There's nothing to do
with you agree with that?
Massa, the thing is going up.
No, you agree we've brought it down?
Cool down.
No, you agree with that?
Cool down. Is it going up or it's not going up?
You agree we've brought it down by about 40%. You agree. 17 to 10.
What did you tell Ghanaians?
17 to 10.
Massa, forget about 17.
No, it's important you put that in
That's
context.
your importance. Our importance is that today is that the thing is going up. So forget about yesterday matter. We are not going to chop yesterday. We are chopping today.
Of course.
Today is expensive.
Today is still less than what you made.
It's not about. But when it was high and you said we should vote for you,
yes.
Did you say we should vote for you so you can also take
it
high?
We don't expect
if that was the point, then it was a wasted vote we gave you.
No. We don't expect.
So stop saying this thing. Your communication will not survive. Hold on, please.
We don't expect people like you, who kept it at 17, at a point at 23, to complain when it's at 10.
You keep having that argument.
No, that's the truth.
I'm not having that conversation with you. I'm saying that the person listening to us today,
is still buying less.
No problem. Upon your promise that when you come, you bring the thing down, and you say you have brought it down. Today it's gone up a gallon, 4 Ghana cedis and 50 pesos. That's the relevant question. Forget about what you are talking about.
No, we can't.
Well, you can talk about that. You know, you are going to have a problem very soon. 7 months, and you are arguing about yesterday.
No,
the people are living in today, and so you can have that conversation. I'm not going to engage in that. But we are suffering today on the matter of you increasing the thing. But when you were coming, you see, the worst part of it is that the finance minister, told us that he will not compensate for the inefficiencies of ECG with any tariff. Just after he said that and put full stop, he went about under certificate of urgency to increase our fuel. So, my brother, this thing you are talking about,
that is not accurate.
You are echoing in a certain chamber that Ghanaians are not there. Accurate. We have moved on. We are sitting right here. We are buying fuel.
Richard, that is not accurate.
No, you can talk your truth, but the fact of Ghanaians is what I'm telling you. That today, the gallon of petrol is now increased by 4 Ghana cedis, 50 pesos. That reality, you can't take it from us. You can decide to tell us that we are not experiencing what we are experiencing.
Nobody has said that.
That would be
your
disconnected communication.
Nobody has said
your
that.
disconnected communication from the
that.
reality of Ghanaians.
Nobody
now,
has
we are
said
interested. We are interested in ensuring, in achieving a certain footing for our party that we can actually deliver. Look, when you are comparing your records, and we are comparing our records, our first term records, you are nowhere near that. That matter, we can have that. President Akufo-Addo's first term record, okay, and the deliverables that you can measure from that time and now. So the reality we are living today is what we are talking about. It's painful. You talk about our values. What values? What values? Look, if you put the NDC and NPP down, the values that that birthed our party is one that has been tried and tested, is a time-tested value of a tradition that actually is at the heart of what republic we have today. But for the belief system of the New Patriotic Party, you wouldn't have this fourth republic. Because why? People have to believe in the rule of law so much that they will lay their life down for it, that in the heat of a military dictatorship in this country, they said that we want democracy and we must have democracy. That's the reason why we have democracy.
And that came from the NPP?
Yes.
That came from the
NPP?
NPP?
Yes, my brother.
Yes, you're not part of the Consultative Assembly?
You cannot argue that.
Yes, you're not part of the Consultative Assembly?
But you need to understand the thing.
So you are not part?
No, just hold on.
You are not part?
Just take your
Then
time.
you want to take credit?
Massa, just take your time. Take your time.
When we're going through the process
relax,
of the 1992 Constitution, you were not there. You were not part.
Son,
you abolished the process. You abolished the process.
The question you need to ask yourself is that how did we get about that process, okay, underway to begin with? How did that process come about? Understand? The process of democratizing again in Ghana. Yes. How did it come about? Who caused it?
Did you partake?
Who were the catalysts at the base of that renaissance in this country?
That is not
true. It
is
the New Patriotic Party, our tradition.
That is not true.
Okay, you're fine. I don't know if you think all the responses you are going to give is not true. It's not true.
No,
but the point I'm telling you is that just a brief quiescence with your reference to your history, you will see that. But for our tradition, this country would have continued to be a dictatorship. Okay? The PNDC was an unwilling participant in the change to democratic rule in this country.
Yes,
they were an unwilling participant. So that matter must be clear. So the rule of law in this country is a key contribution, or democracy in this Fourth Republic is a key contribution from our tradition. Our value of rule of law is what brought that about. You must know that. Private enterprise in this country. Look, today.
So is that a value you are going back at Congress?
I'm saying.
Your conference?
So you see, here's the thing.
No, I just want to find out. Is that a value you are talking about at going back at your conference?
I will answer that question even if you don't ask it, because I'm answering the question. Those are our values. We want to reconnect with those.
So you lost them?
Right? No.
But yet you want to reconnect?
No. But you see, any life that is lived without making reference or reflection is not worth living. Okay? So he was talking about reflection. Out of the election, we have reflected. The reason we have ordered for a post-election review, the matters and recommendation arising from that product of our reflection is what is leading us forward. And we have seen that we need to get back to basics.
Right.
A lot of Ghanaians without any strict political connection appreciate and identify with the New Patriotic Party's value. Because why? Who wouldn't like democracy? But we brought that about. So people think that we are the party. That a vast majority of our country would any day vote for the New Patriotic Party than the National Democratic Congress. We are a mass party across board. And so because of that, some people, these are feedback, people thought that, is that the New Patriotic Party? Maybe some things have happened, circumstances have led us to places, difficulties have happened. Matter in question, the DDEP, right? That's something that a new patriotic party ought not to do, needing to do. But why? We got ourselves in a difficult situation. It was a global situation that was one thing that we need to do to get out of the situation. So that decision was taken with great pain, with great pain. But if we didn't do it, those were the options. If we don't go that way, which way can we get home? And that difficult decision was taken because it was inevitable. It was difficult. But today, the benefit, the fruits of that difficult decision is being realized. It's being realized. And the NDC is busy taking credit for it all over the place. So what I'm saying is that we are connecting with our values.
Right.
We are bringing that to the fore so that all the people who thought for some reason, based on some very difficult decisions that ought to be made, and felt that maybe somehow the New Patriotic Party is no different from the NDC. By this recognition, we are bringing the daylight between us and them. That we are people of value, we are people of principle, and those principles will guide us going forward.
Okay.
You understand?
Right.
So it is clear in my mind that my brother, where they have gotten to so early in their term, they have started arguing with the people already. Arguing with the people. Now, because of what I said, now look what is in front of me. I've been because we advocated. Yeah. So instead of them listening,
he wishes that you change the theme from rebuilding together with our core values,
yes,
to reflecting, rebuilding. Together with our core values.
Yes.
No,
that's what he said.
They don't have core values. I'm telling you, they should reflect. They should reflect, so they can rebuild. Okay. And in the near future, in 2000, or in 2100, or in 2080, maybe they can be lucky to capture political power.
You know, my brother is living these things all the time. He's living a certain paradise. Yeah, he's living a certain paradise. But the truth is, let me just land for you.
Okay, you land.
You want to continue the argument with the people?
No, you land.
I'll give you time. You see, the point is this, that he doesn't know what he's sitting on. This thing they call time bomb.
Yes.
Theirs is time blast that he's sitting on.
Okay.
Yeah? That what is going to happen, the rapturing that's going to happen in their party, he has no idea.
You have your ears fairly on.
Rapturing in the party has no idea. So you better comport yourself, hold yourself in line. But what we are doing is a serious venture, and it is dedicated to our forebears.
Okay.
It is dedicated to Ghanaians to see that we are still in touch with those values that they cherish in us, those values that makes them feel that the New Patriotic Party is the hope of this country. We are getting back there. We are going to hold ourselves accountable. And from conference, that is the spirit we are going home with, that we will build together, and we'll build together focused on our principles, and those principles will not change. Those principles will guide us to the promised land, to make sure that this country, the promise we made to develop this country in freedom, remains true, and will deliver on those. But as for the NDC, they are vacillating. They told Ghanaians that, LGBTQ, they will campaign. Where's St. George, my good brother?
Okay.
It's at the communication ministry.
Yes.
Very, very quiet.
Oh, that's not true.
Very, very quiet. I mean, you need to listen to what I'm saying before you say it's not true. What is not true? Quiet is not true.
No, he said it's quiet.
He's
not quiet.
He's very, very quiet.
He's been very busy.
He's a full minister.
Yes. Data prices have come down drastically because of his work.
You see, you just this is not. He's very, very quiet on the LGBTQ matter.
It's not true.
St. George told us, that if His Excellency John Dramani Mahama doesn't do anything about this, he won't let him know rest. Why is President Mahama resting so calmly?
Okay.
He's resting so calmly, and St. George is very quiet.
Okay.
LGBTQ matter. Now people are kissing. The Independence Square, men and men are kissing. Thank God the women haven't started, because if the women start, we can't hold this thing, right? We'll be out of the market. Tomorrow, I don't know. I mean, you'll be out of the market. The women start this thing. It cannot be controlled because they are more than us, right? But men are kissing. You saw that picture. Moro, Annie, please put the man and man kissing as a legacy of the NDC, because Anna Akufo-Addo, you didn't see that at the Independence Square. And if Annie doesn't put that on the thing, he shouldn't send you anything about MPP.
Okay.
He should put the man and man kissing at the Independence Square. He should put it. And that will be a legacy of the National Democratic Congress, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. He should put it on the screen. And please put it on the screen. So Ghanaians can see it and be upset about it. That they voted for a government who said that they would ban that thing. President Mahama, who said very calmly that my faith will not allow me. Okay, my faith is not in agreement with that. But yet, under him, men and men are kissing at the most sacred places for us Ghanaians. Independence Square. And please put it on the screen so Ghanaians can know that this happened under His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. After he has promised that thing won't happen. It happened.
He said he was handing.
But after this annoying thing has happened, who can stop? We have to carry on. To tell the president, act, go to the UN and tell them that as a people, Ghanaians, we don't condone that. We don't want that in our country.
That's the government's
Let the chips fall where they may. Let the chips fall where they may. State your claim. Who are we? Is that who we are? Men kissing? That one. Huh? That one. Is that who we are? Is that what my father taught me? Is that what your father taught you? Moro, is that what you were taught? That one? And President Mahama, who said that will never happen? Sam George. Look at that. Look at that. Anyway, you can carry on. See?
Let's move on.
No, one second. You know,
you had a very busy and a very important program yesterday. Let's spend the rest of the time talking about it. So, yesterday, the Energy Ministry, your ministry had a presser. And you said quite a bit. And look at today's newspapers, they've captured the various angles of some of the things that you said. I don't know which of them you would want to describe as some of the key highlights of yesterday's press conference by your boss, the minister.
Yes.
Because you have over 227.6 million ECG contracts terminated. You have no power outages. You have, we're told soon, public officials or public government appointees are going to be driving DV, solar-powered EVs, vehicles, and so on and so forth. So what are some of the critical issues that you'd want the public to know based on what yesterday is? In fact, there's also the majority of consumers willing to pay more for stable power. Now, after yesterday's presser, when you run us through, I'd like to ask you about what we're using, and I want to be very clear on this, what we're using this 1 cedi per litre levy, what are we using it for? Is it to retire debts, or to contribute to retiring debts, or to help us procure fuel? It's important that you set the record straight on this matter. So walk us through the key highlights of yesterday's presser, and then we can get to this issue, which appears to be the more raging controversy as to what government's real motive for introducing the 1 cedi per litre subsidy, what do you call it, levy.
Your question about key highlights is a bit difficult because what my boss put out, what the ministry put out yesterday, was just a percentage of the achievements that the ministry and the government has been able to chalk since January. And all of them are major, or they are significant milestones. And so it's difficult to just highlight a few. And in fact, the original documents that my boss was supposed to present was over 200 pages. And we had to struggle because of the time. And so that's
like the summarized version, isn't it?
Yes. Maybe the summarized version was about 24 pages.
Yeah.
And we had to struggle to be able to put the document together because of the time. Initially, what the ministry had agreed to do was to do an energy series where all the agencies under the ministries, under the supervision of the minister, would account to the people of Ghana where we were since they took reins of their various offices, and then what has been achieved so far. But eventually we had to turn to the accountability series, which has been instituted by the presidency under the Minister for Government Communications, Honorable Felix Kwachi Fusu. I want to commend him. It's only a government that has achieved a lot, a government that does not have anything to hide, that will want to be as transparent as possible, that will want to account to the good people of Ghana. Stewardship. When you are giving stewardship at all times, you should know that you are a servant to the people, and that you must let the people know what you've done so far. As a ministry, we've been very less on communicating the challenges and the difficulties that we inherited as a government, because the minister, Honorable Jinapo, has taken responsibility for it, and the focus is to fix the problems. The focus is not to rant. Sometimes you are torn between disclosing or putting some of this information out, and we rather go the way of solving them. In disclosing the solutions, you may have the opportunity to discuss the problems. And if you look at the presentation yesterday, subtly, by talking about the solutions, I'm sure a lot of people noticed that there were problems or certain problems that we're dealing with as a ministry. At the time we came into office in January 2025, the sector was practically on its knees. They had collapsed the sector, let me just put it bluntly. If you take upstream, if you take downstream, if you look at our reserves, our exploration and production, if you look at our refinery capacity, if you look at Ghana Gas as an institution, the Toabo that we built, if you look at Ghana Cylinder Manufacturing Company, if you look at Gridco, that's the transmission lines, and almighty ECG, there's not a single agency under the ministry that we haven't encountered serious challenges, like very, very serious challenges. Some will border on mismanagement, some will border on outright corruption, some procurement breaches, some pure incompetence. And you would wonder why the government would go that route. Because if you have the mandate of the people, you just have to deliver. Even if you will not deliver, at least don't sink the sector. And that is what they did. If I'm looking at a few of the things that I can speak to at this point. If you take the upstream, our oil reserves have dwindled significantly. As at 2019, we're doing about 71 million. By the time they left office, it was 43 million. And within that period, for a long time, we hadn't had any drilling. A lot of the super majors that came in had left. They just abandoned Ghana. They were not interested in our market again. The government, through its directives, led to the players fighting. You had a long, protracted fight between the government, ENI, Springfield, because of government's directives. That regulatory issues and fiscal issues that threatened the sector. What the government has done, led by His Excellency the President himself, and he mentioned this a couple of days ago when he met PIAC, was for the President and the Energy Minister to personally, I don't mean by delegation, the President himself, together with the Energy Minister, to engage some of these super majors, to give them confidence that, you know what, hold on, just consider coming back, and that as a government, we will put in place the necessary regulatory regime and to ensure that it's a viable market for you to come in. The unitization issue was dealt with within weeks. They had been there, we had gone to arbitration, which we lost, in fact, in court, arbitration, and it had sent wrong signals across the globe. Now you have super majors looking into our country again. If you remember, like I said earlier, they made so much noise about Gazprom, they made so much noise about Exxon. I don't know whether it will tell you if they were able to even do any exploration. There was nothing, zero. Under Act 919, practically nothing has happened under it. So the upstream, it's critical because we need to explore our oil reserves for the benefits of the people of Ghana. And that had been missing for years. Recently, ENI declared commerciality, and he declared commerciality saying that the Afena, the urban blocks were viable. And this is a petroleum agreement that they opposed. They opposed so much in 2016, to the extent that I remember at the time, they even reported the country and His Excellency the President to the Italian Prime Minister. And this is good news. In the last few months, we've had Tallow drill. We have ENI also drill, which had not happened in a very long time. So we're resetting the upstream side. You're getting Chevron, you're getting Shell, you're getting CNOOC, some of these major companies express interest in our market again, and have showed commitment that they will come in. In that same sector, we had a major strategic agreement signed recently between Jubilee and the 10 partners, where they are going to invest fresh money of $2 billion each in our sector. That hadn't happened under them for several years. On Sunday, which they mysteriously went to town to say National Doomsday Day as a result of the upgrade, we've had gas increase by ENI from 245 million standard cubic feet to 270 million standard cubic feet, which is significant. In the next few weeks, we're also expecting Tallow to do the same. And I'll take the opportunity to commend GMPC and Petroleum Commission under their leadership, together with the ministry, and most importantly, the support of His Excellency the President, for all the efforts to restart or to reset the upstream. It's very, very, very critical that we get back to the track after what they've done or what they did in governments the last couple of years. If I move from the upstream and in fact, even with the upstream, if I move from there to downstream, they completely messed the oil refinery up. As at December 2024, they left a debt of $517 million. They hadn't audited the account for 6 years. 6 years. In fact, they practically handed over the refinery to foreigners. That is what it is now. And this government has had to take the bull by the horn to take steps to now get the refinery to be operating under the management of under the new management.
It's someone being held accountable or responsible for that?
Yes, there's several investigations ongoing, and that's why I said that as a ministry, my minister's posture is not to rant, is to fix the problems. And in fixing the problems, obviously, if you communicate that, people will know where we are as an institution. If you look at Ghana Cylinder Manufacturing Company, it's practically on its knees. You implement a policy like cylinder recirculation, which we started in 2016, and you think that as a government, they will take the opportunity for the cylinder manufacturing company to produce more cylinders. And they don't, rather the company is collapsing. And under this administration, we are retooling it. The government is engaging Ghana Gas. Ghana Gas has been very supportive on that angle. And beyond that, also looking at GCB to be able to step in to raise some funding for them and to deal with it. TOR hadn't done maintenance for years, turnaround maintenance for years. It's as if they practically wanted to collapse it so that they'll be able to sell it off for cheap, like what they did with Commander Sugar Factory. And all those issues are being handled to ensure that we have a solid energy sector, a solid turn around the sector. Moving forward, you also look at ECG, for example. ECG's problems are just a total mess. And serious procurement breaches. You have had consistently ECG exceeding their budget. For example, in 2023, they had a budget to spend over 800 million Ghana cedis. They spent over 8 billion cedis. in 2024, they had to spend 1 billion. They spent over 8 billion cedis. So for 2 years, you have a budget of 2 billion and you end up spending 16 billion. How will you survive as a company? Who in his right senses will continue to procure not even essential goods, non-essential goods, to the extent that you have containers move from 1 to 10 to 100 to have over 2,600 containers sitting at the port? Or if it's your business, will you do that? Will you keep incurring demurrage whilst you buy non-essential goods? And all these containers, you don't even have essential materials that you need, like transformers, not a single transformer in there. You don't have a single meter in there. They practically collapsed the company. And if you look at what has been achieved in the last 6 months, and pursuant to the directives by the Minister of Energy and Green Transitions, and then the commitment of the MD, then you ask yourself, in 8 years, what were they doing in office? For 8 years. What were they doing in the office? ECG today owes over 80 billion. From January to now, we have reduced it from that to 67 billion in less than 6 months. In less than 6 months. So if you do sector by sector.
How did you do it?
Oh, prudent management.
How?
Let me give you a typical example.
I mean, what has changed?
Let me give you a few examples. Okay. One of the critical decisions has to do with procurement. Okay. For some strange reason, they merge estates with procurement. I don't know how the director of estates will be the one making procurement decisions. We have decoupled that. And the minister's directive is that, number one, don't procure any non-essential goods. That's the first directive. Don't do that. Even though the ministry is not interested in micromanaging ECG because it's an entity on its own, it has a board, the ministry has a supervisory responsibilities. So the minister is exerting that supervisory role to ensure that we redirect ECG to its core mandate and to deal with some of these problems. Another policy by the minister is that as a company, you cannot go and procure and then the supplier will leave the goods at the port. If you have any contract with any supplier, the goods must be delivered to the doorstep of ECG, to ECG's warehouse. Because you don't want a situation where the person delivers the goods at the port, you don't have money to clear the goods, and then you're incurring demurrage. The last figure that was put out, huge demurrage, almost billions of cedis in demurrage as a result of some of these actions. So that alone goes to direct how the management of ECG should act. Another one minister has said is that I will not determine your procurement, but you should share your procurement plan. Share with the ministry at every time. Once you share your procurement plan, the ministry will be able to observe or to supervise, to know that you are procuring goods that you need. For example, they have 2.5 mm cables in these containers. Some of them, if we don't buy any cables for 20 years, will be okay. 20 years. Meanwhile, what you need to do your critical maintenance is missing. So these are some of the measures that the ministry has put in place. Another thing is that there's a strict adherence to the cash waterfall mechanism, which has improved significantly how much suppliers get. You don't have a situation where the money's coming and ECG spends huge chunk of that on itself. That's what we're seeing in the past. They spend huge chunk of it. They leave just a little for the cash waterfall mechanism, and then you have suppliers and power service providers complaining. And if you observe, in the last 6 months, the constant threats by IPPs and then supply have stopped, have reduced significantly. The last company that did that was Car Power. The ministry had a roadmap with them, had an agreement with them, made some payments. And since then, it's been a very quiet because every month, at least these suppliers or these power producing companies are assured of some revenue. And interestingly, those measures have yielded very good results. Now we make more money than what we had before. So the president has directed that the extra money that has come, it should be a review of the cash waterfall mechanism to be able to distribute those monies equitably to the sector, to ensure that the gains that have been made will continue. So The sector is growing, is doing well. We are not out of the woods. If you look at power stability, when we came in January, last year, I said earlier that the whole of last year they shedded load. And I have the document. You can write to Gridco. Gridco will confirm that. It will tell you every month and the load they shedded. And that is why the people of Ghana at a point were upset and kept asking that, we know you have these difficulties. Just give us a timetable. And then we had that ridiculous response from the minister at the time that go and do your own timetable as if we manage the sector. So those outages have reduced. The stability, everybody can attest to it. As for whether you have electricity or not, it's not, I cannot lie to you. Whether you have the electricity or don't have electricity, you know. And we all know that there's been significant improvements in the last 3 months. We haven't been shedding any load. Maintenance has been ongoing. And so by end of July going to next month, we will even go back to the period where we had some reserve margin. They were not doing the maintenance because of elections. When it's time for elections, they say, no, hold on, don't do it because, and even with that, they still had difficulties with power generation. So for that side, I would say that the ministry has been on track. Progress has been made. The green transition side has been exceptional. You know, the president amended the name. The ministry is going to install over 23,000 solar, all built in one solar all across the country. It's because from the analysis we made between peak and off-peak, there's a difference of about 600 megawatts. And between 200 to 400 of that is contributed by the street light. So if you're able to get those street lights off the national grid and you get to solar, that means that becomes an extra saving for the people of Ghana. Beyond that, we mentioned earlier the EVs. The government's policy is to encourage a lot of electric vehicle use. Ministers will start using them soon. After that, it will come down to CEOs and other government agencies because we believe that that is the way to go. Because of that, the minister commissioned an EV charging port at Energy Commission. I'm sure one of these days you can pay a visit to see how it works. And beyond that, we're in Lala, around the Karachi area recently, to cut sod for mini solar grid, because those areas where they are connected, those island areas mostly are off the grid. It's difficult to get to that. So all those areas, we want to put them on solar to be able to expand there. We're also looking at rooftop solar for MDAs. We're looking at universities, hospitals, because those are critical institutions. And once you install that there, you know that at least you have constant power. They are off the grid. You don't have any issues with billing and collection. And so those are some of the gains that have been made when it comes to the green transition area. And we're encouraging Ghanaians to go solar, to use renewable. Recently, we also put together the nuclear authority bill. We're going through the process to ensure that we have that. We encourage the use of nuclear energy. About a week or two ago, we had a lot of consultations from stakeholders to be able to set up the authority. And we've also established a green transition fund to assist with some of the investment. So we've been very heavy on green transition. We've been very heavy on the power sector as well. A week ago, we're in Kumasi to upgrade the transmission line from Ahomaso to Ahojo. That was a 33 kVI. What the government policy is now is that we won't do 33 again. The least will be 161 or 330. And then once you are doing that, you strengthen the transmission lines and then you have power. We're doing a lot when it comes to the distribution side. I've mentioned that private sector participation, Cabinet has approved that for ECG. The government is not selling ECG. That's not the policy of government. The government is only bringing in private participation to deal with the billing and collection because that has been a major challenge for ECG. In fact, we started that process in 2015, 2016 thereabout. under the Compact 2 agreement with Millennium Challenge. And in fact, it was that process that birthed PDS. It was that process that they came in, as my boss said, they cannibalized the process, what we had put in place to ensure that you have companies with good reputation, with good track record coming to assist us improve our power sector. They came in, they changed the guidelines, which immediately led to a lot of these companies move out, as usual, so that they can take it for themselves. They kicked most of these companies out. They was left with 3. They said the last one, which was BXC. I remember so at the time I was doing energy analysts and advocacy, so I remember so well the consultancy work we did, that BXC was conflicted because they had done some work with ECG years ago, and then they reduced it to 2. They had their own arrangements with the Filipino company with no track record in what they were doing, and then they ended up giving the contract to what's the name? This consortium. There's this Filipino consortium together with PDS, and then we all heard the voices on where they were sharing shares as if they were sharing tomatoes in the market. And that's what my minister said, that approach where there's opacity, there's a deliberate action to give ECG to yourself. Nobody's interested in that. The concessions will be for the people of Ghana. Apply, come in, help with billing and concessions. There will be multiple concessions to ensure there will be KPIs for everyone, like we've done with ECG's management and board, to ensure that you deliver. At the end of the day, if you don't deliver, we move on. So the level of transparency will ensure that the PSP works. And on ECG, back to ECG, look at some of the contracts that have been terminated by ECG. ECG had to review over 300 contracts. So far, they've terminated with the board, with board approval. They've terminated over 200 contracts, which has a contract value of $227 million, £1 million, and over 4 million euros. That alone, over 200 million, and they are reviewing another 145. And that those 445, once they go through the scrutiny, and then they have to be terminated, ECG will decide that. Those are the problems that they cause. These are just a few overview that I want to give on the sector. If we say we are continuing, there are so many agencies I haven't mentioned. I haven't gone to BOST, I haven't spoken of. We have about 14 number of agencies. VRA is doing solar as well. The new directive by Minister is for VRA to take steps to own some of these power plants. We are renegotiating with IPPs. It's chaired by Ben Boache, who's been in the civil society group space for years, to ensure that there's a review, there's renegotiation, to ensure that the cost of power is reduced. So there are lots of things that we're doing in the sector, and cumulatively, with the support of the good people of Ghana, we'll turn the sector around.
The renegotiation with the IPPs is very critical, isn't it?
Very.
Because to a very large extent, it contributes to how much we're paying for power.
Absolutely.
Because the circumstances have changed. At the time that we were signing those agreements with them, where our backs were strongly against the wall, and now we seems to be a bit more relaxed. We're a bit more comfortable, relatively, as compared to what used to be. So it only makes a lot of sense that we hasten. You started it. You started this renegotiation.
No, they told us they started something.
They didn't do anything?
No,
they did something.
No, coming. So I remember under Honorable Boache Jackson.
Okay.
The first thing they said was that the NDC had signed contracts that if we proceeded with those contracts, we're going to have 11,000 megawatts of power.
True.
And they said that they were going to renegotiate some, they were going to terminate some of them, and they were going to reschedule some of them. We kept asking them what's the data. They never provided any data. To be fair to them, in the last few years, they initiated some discussions,
right?
But there's no conclusion. They cannot show evidence of signing one to say this was the cost. We've signed with Moro, it was at this cost.
Oh, so the talks began.
That's all. In the last few weeks.
Okay.
Sorry, few months before they.
But he didn't produce.
No,
really
there's nothing to show for it.
What Richard is here, I don't know what Richard knows, but yeah, Richard. So I'll bring you back on the ECG matter.
Yes.
Sorry, on ESLA.
No, it is.
It's extremely important.
Yeah, very, very.
Because they started yesterday.
Very.
No, we can speak to that.
But I'll get Richard to give me his preliminary, and then when he's done,
we have
24.
We have time or something.
Yeah, that's the challenge. So we'll take.
Maybe I should also be keeping time.
You've always been keeping time.
No, but today
is in drama.
Today I lost track of everything. It's got all the time.
Anyway, so Richard wants to take a cup of water. And so we'll take a break so that he can drink the water. And then when we come back, he would have his turn. And then we'll come back to the one.
I'm here at Mycom JA Limited to show you the Promethean Active Panel, the ultimate tool for corporate institutions, hospitals, schools, and your home. With its crystal clear 4K display and an unbreakable screen with an ultra responsive touch technology, this isn't just a screen, it's a game changer. For corporate institutions and in schools, this active panel can be used for Zoom meetings and PowerPoint presentation. And your homes are not left behind. You can use it to watch all your favorite programs by just connecting to a Fire Stick, and you can get access to channels like Netflix and Amazon, and voila, you are in there. At Mycom JA Limited, we provide you with the best quality products from the United States of America with 1-year warranty. You can get an
Ebusiafo ye mama kwaba eba Children's Palace. Nkwala nyema nyina fie enyi. Yonkwala ntade mani mema nyina ntare nyina wase. Yonkwala shoes, yonkwala duane, yonkwala wipes, yonkwala diapers, yonkwala toys, baby cot. In fact, bibia opama o manyina obenye biwa ase.
Located at East Legon Hills, Nana Chrome KFC. Contact us on 059-6377-172. Children's Palace. Happy children, happy fashion. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Wabedum Tamaso. Hey, J. Watch it, na learning. Missy, watch and learn. Makwaya mabesisia. Abozing. Akache say no ya konate and the more drink woman. Hey. But I didn't mean. Oh, sorry. She knew her old days. Eji. Dabio, baby wom. Ready. Hey, baby wom. Eji. I'll cause some discomfort. Sorry, well, uncle, where would I die? Why your funeral? At your phone for Aerofield Trading. Sorry, it killed them all.
No mum share Nanda Daya was mosquito call is to do a munumu. Na say spray with them musa. Chaisima a dronum and sana ko dynamo.
And Kratoi FDA Ajatum.
In my line of work, a confident smile is everything. Kel Charcoal toothpaste keeps me on top of my game. and ensures my smile is always radiant and bright.
With the tiring nature of my job, we spend several hours under the scorching sun. To keep our teeth white and our breath fresh all the time, we use none other than Kale Charcoal Toothpaste. Kale Charcoal Toothpaste. You're on a Kessie and in a kit one.
Samayo kendini, who be here, Semetra Sapapadia to Amame Manfo, Kale Charcoal's natural ingredients, and a bomb is a buying, and maniswing, and a sansu mama hotel so a will beg you.
Kale Charcoal Toothpaste. Choose Kale Charcoal Toothpaste for anti-cavity, whiter teeth, and fresher breath all day. Available in 80 gram and 150 gram. Grab yours today.
Kale, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Buy affordable service plots and lands from estate masters. Currently selling our next cottage, located at the newly proposed airport city, with a starting price of 25,000 Ghana cedis. We also have Palm Hills, located at Panfukuro in the Gomwa East District, also with a starting price of 15,000 Ghana cedis. Available also is Coastal Park in Lakleku, which is a 15-minute drive from the Ningo Senior High School, having a starting price of 55,000 Ghana cedis. You will receive a free site plan with indenture once you successfully purchase a land from us. For any enquiries, contact the numbers provided. Estate Masters, your most preferred estate partner.
All right, so live and Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. I'm here with Richard Ahiagba, who is the Director of Communications for the New Patriotic Party, and also Richmond Roxon, who is the Head of Communications at the Ministry of Energy and Green Transition. And he's also a private legal practitioner as well. In fact, he's a lawyer. And
I'm not a private legal practitioner.
Okay, but you're a lawyer. Yes. You're just a lawyer. Yeah. You haven't started practicing yet.
No. Because of this rule, I don't practice.
You don't
so
practice.
My practice is on hold. Yeah.
Okay. I see. All right. The most important thing, you've been called to the bar.
Absolutely.
Which year was this?
I'm 5 years or 6 years at the moment.
So 5 or 6 years ago. You've not found time to practice. You've been doing a lot more civil society.
No, I've been practicing. So the last 7 years, that's what I've been doing.
Oh, the last 7 years.
Yes. So that's why I left civil society to focus on practice.
So then you're a private legal practitioner? Or you don't want to tell?
No, you see, if you use private legal practitioner, that means I'm still in active practice.
But you're not
active now.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm the head of comms here.
Yeah. He used to be a private legal practitioner.
Yes,
that sounds more like it.
But I'm still a lawyer. That cannot change.
Yeah. No, it doesn't change. Okay, Richard. You said you left them a mess. You're fixing the mess.
You know, it is a situation of somebody saying that, oh, your husband is bad, leave him and come and marry me. And then you go and marry him, and then he's using things that he said were bad in your marriage against you when he's not delivering.
Oh.
You understand? Because everything he said that, oh, and they did this, and then our question is that, what are you doing about it? That's what we want to hear.
Oh, no, I thought I was heavy on the solution.
No, you were not. You are very light. Very economical about what you are doing, which is nothing. And then he says that, oh, we don't want to rant. We would like it if you rant rather than not rant at all, because we are not hearing anything. At all. You know, they came and they were very loud about, oh, containers. What's happened to the containers? What's happened to the containers?
Most of them.
No. Retrieve from who? From who? You understand?
Yesterday,
so it's okay.
We provided an update on the container issue.
Update. We want the fact. What happened to the thing? There's a report.
Yes.
Where's the report?
Yeah, the report is there.
Where? We want to see it. You are the one saying that some people are their own reports that we have written in our own house. You want to read that one?
No,
the Ghana report one you won't bring it.
No. The report. Richard. No. It's important. No. I'll let you misquote.
Oh, how?
No, because you see, yesterday an update was provided on the containers.
Yes.
That after the audit,
2006.
You didn't find space in your very long time to say that. So allow me.
As I mentioned,
I'll give you 30 seconds later.
Which will not come.
Later, it will come. You know,
people are answering for the containers.
No problem.
You have
4 years.
The former MD
So
has been. Yes, he has written.
Yes,
he's been invited by the security agencies. He's written his caution statement.
Okay.
Some top management staff at ECG have been asked to step aside.
He said he wanted another.
Let me just clarify.
No problem. We had a long time.
No, some of them. I told you that the milestones are too many.
No problem. Okay. Give him time after.
After the show.
No.
Boro.
Yes, boss.
You talked very well about energy sector. One thing I like shows his individual understanding of the sector, but put in the political context is very scanty of anything to be hopeful about. Look.
So even the stable power.
Look, Moro.
Even the upstream progress.
Moro.
The investors coming back.
Before you
allow him
to put President Mahama.
Yes.
Okay. Term.
Yes.
Before he left office in 2017 here, put Akufo-Addo in between, and put Mahama here.
Yes.
What was here? Darkness till he left?
No.
Then, hold on.
Brightness.
Brightness. You see, the thing is, you don't like pictures. When people are giving you pictures, see it.
Okay.
Before he left office, there was complete darkness.
It's not true.
When Akufo-Addo came, there was light. So you got so much used to light that when there was one light off sometime, then you started asking Napo, what is happening? What is happening?
By 2015, no. Dr. Baumia himself.
But why won't you wait?
No, Dr. Baumia himself said we shouldn't give credit to President Mahama for fixing Doomso. It's not discredited.
You know, it's okay. Stop arguing with the people.
No, you.
Stop arguing with the Ghanaian people.
You are misinforming the people.
No, I'm not.
You are misinforming the people. Is it not true that Dr. Baumia said Mahama has fixed it?
Hello. Everybody in Ghana knows that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama era was a Doomso era.
He fixed the problem.
We're not talking about fix or not. We're saying that
he inherited the problem.
Did you live in Doomso under Mahama?
He inherited the problem and he fixed it.
What is this? Okay. Did you live in Doomso or not?
He inherited the problem.
Whereupon barbering shops collapsed, hairdressing salons collapsed, unless you want to look in the face of those women and tell them that their barbering shops and salons didn't cook. We are not talking about, we are saying that it did happen.
The problem happened.
It did happen.
He fixed
so we are not talking about fixing it. The point is that the person who fixed it was Akufo-Addo.
That's not true.
Ghana got used so much to light that when the light went off one day, then we call the minister, we want schedule. And those were steroids by you, the NDC. Put, I beg you.
Boache Jaku said,
come on.
I
was here when you were talking.
Boache Jaku said we had signed.
I was very nice.
Power purchase agreement. No, I'm coming. Just quick information.
But you're saying a lot. And then are you going to always come back to correct something? Just write it.
All right.
I beg you. You see this note? I wrote the voice.
So please do say.
Propaganda.
There's paper.
Propaganda.
You know, we are talking reality. So for us in opposition, we are giving you mirror to look at yourself in. Okay. If you are minded to look at it, you will get insight that will guide you. If you don't, and you call it propaganda, by the way, MPP, who don't know what propaganda is, you guys are the chief propagandists. Look, Moro, you talk about the energy sector. Problems in the energy sector.
Right.
Moro, good, you are from that sector. You know about that sector. The problems of the energy sector was created by the NDC. Was created. The debt and everything we're having to deal with is created by the NDC. I'm shocked that they are going around. They just think that we are forgotten all of a sudden. They created a mess. Doomso. Then they got desperate. We want to solve it. President Mahama said 1 year. Power ministry, 1 year, solve it. If you don't solve it, you are gone. Giddy. What did they do? They didn't create anything self-sustaining. They went shopping. Do you have a batch? Do you have any generator that can do power? As I have, they signed a mess of PPAs. They signed a mess of PPAs, that's what. And now he's saying that, we only merely started a conversation about whose agreement? About whose agreement are we starting the conversation? Not agreement you have signed. When you were signing it, if you were minded to sign a proper agreement in the interest of the country, would anybody need to start a conversation about them? You cause a mess and we are sitting here trying to fix it and you say, they just started a conversation as if you are coming to save anybody. You are the mess person. You caused the mess. I cannot wrap my mind around it more. You go and sign a take or pay agreement. So that more, your phone, you say you have phone, I'll buy the minute. I'll buy the minute, but you make the call.
Right.
Okay, when you make the call, you charge me for engaging you on the phone. They buy fuel for the companies, the independent power producers. We, Ghana, buy fuel for them. And when they produce the energy with the fuel we have bought for them, with their vessel, which cost will only be maintenance in operational terms, the maintenance. But the major input in generating power, we are paying for the fuel. Then when they finish, whether we like it or not, we are going to be charged. Master, babies in stomach, if you tell them that, they will say they won't come to this country. They'll say, please, my mother, don't born me into this country. I don't want to come. Because it's absurd. Completely absurd. Why do you sign that agreement? You sign that agreement now, electricity is such that ECG cannot recover. Then you are saying that IPP cost it. How did we cost that? You signed a very poor agreement. Very poor agreement. How does somebody buy a car and I buy the fuel in the car and it's going around? What if he decides to go to Kumasi 3 times a day and I have to keep buying the thing into the thing? Now, even now, I want to know, since you are there, maybe you can help me later on. I'll give you 5 seconds of my time. The point is that, how do we even monitor that fuel that we buy for them? Last time, the energy minister, your boss, was lamenting. I think we owe the independent power producers, some we need to get them some fuel or whatever, about 1.4 billion. A lot of money. A lot of money. Now you're stressing to get that money. The point is, who signed the agreement? Why did we have to do that? But we have done that. Who did it? NDC. NDC did it. That's why we are in a mess. And so when we are in a mess, and they have come here posturing as though they are the saviors, it's nauseating. Completely unacceptable. MPP didn't cause any energy sector mess at all. They caused it. They caused it. So they have caused a mess, and they have come around here to say, oh, somebody collapsed this, somebody collapsed that. He doesn't want to accept it, but when President Mahama was in government before he left, a lot of businesses collapsed. So if he's talking about collapse now, I should tell him that they are the chief architect of collapsing things. The banking sector of this country collapsed. Completely vamoosed when they were there. So, Bossman, if for some reason, okay, we run into difficulty and you use propaganda on steroids to win some election, don't ever be deceived by that to think that the NDC has a certain mandate unprecedented. Okay? NDC won the election fair and square, but don't be deceived to think that you have some mandate unprecedented, because what election you won, with what margin you had, is no different from what you had in 2020. So in terms of real gain, you haven't gained anything by 100,000. So when you come here, you must be humble and understand that it is because of the lies you told Ghanaians. That's why you won this election. It's not as if you have delivered anything yet. You haven't delivered anything. You are yet to prove yourself. So don't be acting as if you have arrived. You have not arrived. You are yet to show why people voted for you. And we are beginning to see that it was a big mistake that we voted for you. Okay? So this mess that you're talking about, that is there, nobody created it. It is by your own devices that we have this energy sector challenges. By you. Who signs agreement that, I mean, think about it tomorrow. Will you sign that agreement for yourself? That come and produce power, bring your batches, produce power for me, I'll buy fuel for you. And when you sell to me, I'll pay. And if I don't pay, if I don't take it, I'll still pay. God have mercy. I told you this. Our mothers know babies here. They move in the stomach. We need to be whispering this into their ears. And you know, this country are coming, there are people, a political party that signs these kinds of agreement. Do you still want to come or not? Let's give our babies a choice and see. Let's give them a choice. That there was a political party in your country where you are conceived that you are going to likely come. There was a government here that needed electricity and went collecting power producers and say, you come, produce power for me. I'll buy the fuel, produce it, I'll buy it nonetheless. So why don't we just buy the batch? Moro, why didn't we go to buy the batch ourselves?
Okay.
And put the fuel in it and produce it for ourselves. So now, all the high cost of energy, electricity we are paying is as a result of the NDC. And they think that by substitute or by telling the power producers we'll buy the energy for you to reduce electricity cost. It hasn't. Electricity cost is still high. You understand? And they say that, oh, if we pass that on, if the electricity cost is part of what fuel cost is passed away, electricity cost will be high. Well, it is high already. What else can possibly go wrong? At least the 1.4 billion that we are giving to them, at least government could have used that in real time to cushion the Ghanaian people so we know where the thing is coming from. That's not there. So the problem my brother is talking about is as a result of the NDC. They have come round to deal with the problem. So the business of saying MPP started a conversation as if we created a mess, you need to straighten that part. They created a mess. They signed a very poor, unprecedented contract. Nobody should be able to sign that. People should be put in jail.
You're growing old now.
Well, who knows?
You've repeated yourself 10 times on this.
For emphasis.
Because he has nothing to say.
No problem.
He has nothing to say on the sector.
No problem.
He cannot deny the progress that has been made.
No problem.
It's old age. He has nothing to say.
No, it's old age.
He hasn't spoken about TOR, what they did there. He hasn't spoken about upstream. He hasn't spoken about stability of the power. There's nothing he can. Let him respond to the mess at ECG and see whether he can.
No problem.
But
you see, so maybe
the progress that has been made, he cannot respond to that.
No, hold on. Maybe the person is aging is him. Is he Moro? I am telling you the mess we are talking about.
The procurement breaches.
Is ECG.
Procurement breaches.
Suffering because of the mess of a contract they have signed.
Right.
If the impact of what I am saying is lost on most Ghanaians.
Right.
People don't know that this government signed a contract that he is buying petrol, fuel, heavy liquid for other companies, other private companies to generate power and sell very expensive to us Ghanaians to buy.
Okay.
And when we need cushioning, our government doesn't have it, but it has 1.4 billion and more to give to power producers to cushion them. And then they turn around and say that MPP caused a mess. I have to say that 1 more million times before I leave your set. If all I can say is to let Ghanaians understand that the mess we have in the energy sector was caused by the NDC.
Okay.
They are not the saviors. They are the cause of the problem.
Right.
That I will say today.
Right.
And next time when you try to invite me here, I will say that again. And I'll continue saying it till I stop growing.
Right.
But the point is that the NDC, they don't have any case to make when it comes to the energy sector. Because of their incompetent agreement that they signed under His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Somehow, maybe history wanted him to fix it. And I hope that they can be able to go back and untie Ghana from this rather unuseful agreement they've signed with
just give me a minute to read a few messages, and then I'll give the rest of the 5 minutes to you.
That's fine.
How is it? Going to
but you started. You started.
1 second. Just a very important announcement for our conference.
Sure. That's fine.
Earlier when I was talking about, I didn't mention. On Saturday, on Saturday, strictly party business.
Okay.
Strictly party business. No candidate paraphernalia will be entertained.
Why?
It will not be entertained. We will not accept for any candidates and group of candidates wear T-shirt. Come, if you are candidate, if you are a delegate, you are wearing a candidate T-shirt, you will not be allowed in.
Oh, okay. That's how serious you take this.
Yes, we don't want it. We are there to do party business and strictly party business. Okay. So with all respect, we invite our people to come in peace, to do this business. We are focused on rebuilding together with our values. No paraphernalia whatsoever of any candidate will be allowed in the premises.
Okay, so Desmond from Catalyst is the managing editor of the Catalyst newspaper. He said, Richard Hengwa must know that this is not the pre-2016 era. This is 2025. He should wake up and smell the coffee. Sam Kelly. Now, Sam Kelly, you've sent me a story about a graphic.com story about where government was announcing the end of them. So, this matter has been, we've said it back and forth. That's why I don't really want to, talk about it again. I mean, it's not new. The two parties will always argue about who has ended them and so on. But anyway, it says, good morning. So Sam Aku Kelly is Legon Hills. It says, good morning, Moro. First of all, let Richard Hanyagba know that the Dumsa was solved a whole year before the MP came into government in 2017. I must say that I'm highly elated this morning listening to your panelists from the Energy Ministry. In fact, it looks like some group of people came into government just to plunder our resources for 8 good years without any real accountability from those who were being paid to supervise the process in the sector. Truth be told, Ghanaians now show a huge sigh of relief looking into the future with pride and confidence. Kudos to the new managers of the country. This one from Ali Huraya. Ali Huraya is the Northern Regional head. I think it's Ayawaso. I think Greater Accra, yes, head of the Zungo Caucus of the NDC. Greater Accra Regional Zungo Caucus coordinator, yes. He says, good morning, my brother. Please tell Richard, Ghanaians don't wash their face towards upwards, Ghanaians wash their face upwards, not downwards. He thinks Ghanaians have forgotten the hardship they took us through in the hands of the MPP, Ismail Ahuraya. Now, Musa Abatua from Asawasi says, Moro, Richard Hengwa is behaving as if he lost his valuable belongings in the market. If his recent claims are anything to go by, then we must ask, what IPP's agreement has the MP government even signed in the last 8 years in office? How do you spend years demonizing something only to later rely on it without shame? When President Mahama was bringing in the car power and American power plant to solve the energy crisis, the same people, including Richard, kicked against this fiercely. But today, the same Richard is shouting from the rooftops as if they made a meaningful contribution in that space. The hypocrisy is simply unbearable. Evans Dinko says, good morning, Moro. I must commend the PRO of the Energy and Green Transition Ministry, Richard Roxon, for his fantastic presentation this morning, revealing the mess and non-performance of the MPP government, making Richard Hanyagba emotional. If Richard says Ekufuado ended Dumso, ask him to tell us what they have added to end that Dumso. So far, Richard has run away from the revelations put out by Richmond. He should talk about them. Now, Jeff is a very good friend of yours, right? He used to work with Stambik.
Oh, yeah.
Said I should say hello to you.
Oh, hi,
that you've done a fantastic job.
Thank you.
But he goes ahead to say, tell Richard, because NDC messed up, we voted for you, MPP, and you guys showed that shege in 8 years. MPP never again. He should stop preaching 9 and 10 years ago matter and simply acknowledge that now we have moved away from this rhetoric. Tell him to upgrade the conversation. Tell him he should stop this because the narratives are not working again. And finally, let me do this. Alhaji Hamza says that, good morning, my brother. I was thinking that Richard Hangwa was your good friend, so I expected you as a friend to ring the bell to save him from a further exposure to the public, but you did not. According to Richard, they lost the elections based on global issues. I totally disagree with him because, according to Bamia, they advised and they failed to listen. He went further to blame President Adro for increasing petrol prices 3 days to the election and also implementing e-levy and a whole lot. Today, as we speak, according to President Kufuor, he has been sidelined by the leadership of the MPP party. My brother, mark it on the wall. The MP is going to come out from the conference more divided than before. They need serious prayers. And Halaji Hamza sends me that message. Now, Richard is my friend. That's why you can tell that Annie and I have served him a fantastic English breakfast, and so he's enjoying it. Please allow him to enjoy it. Please tell him that it's highly intellectual. This is a highly intellectual platform, and not one of those blah blah blah.
so that the energy sector problem started with the NDC. You should stop telling us that. We still remember how Kufuor gathered pastors to go and pray for the rains in Akosombo. Musa from Nima. Now, Richard Ashikwe says that Richard just said the reason for the continuance of needless power implements and the procurement that will be sitting for years is because of power deals signed by the NDC. Oh, these jokes, let's stop them. We have seen them already. All right, so can we do this in just 3 minutes? Just, because our time is honestly up.
No, it's
yes. Otherwise, they'll take us off.
Yes, it's thank you for the opportunity. And I didn't expect anything from Richard. And sometimes when you are the director of communications and the issues fall right in your face, it's difficult to respond. You can see clearly that it's been a very difficult moment for him. He hasn't been able to respond to anything. And I'm sure as he's seated there, some of the issues that we've discussed, he shocked himself that you can have that level of procurement breaches, mismanagement, incompetence, to the extent that you've had super majors run away. So I'm not surprised. On the issue of his the take or pay, when they came into government, ask him whether they signed any agreement with take or pay clauses or not. They did the same thing. AXA, it was signed by, what's his name? Napo. They had take or pay clauses in there as well. The reality is that propaganda fell flat right before them because the noise they made about take or pay and take and pay did not change. These are industry standards.
Yeah.
And nobody would invest in your country, bring in millions of United States dollars, and will not ask for guarantees that you are going to use the power. And for us as a government, we are even going a step further. They criticize Ameri, they criticize Car Power. They were supposed to be for 5 years. What happened? Didn't you extend it for 15 years? That's their record. That's the deception. Those are their records. That's why I asked earlier that they claim that they had renegotiated agreements. Which agreement did they renegotiate? Okay. As a government, the minister is sponsoring the competitive procurement of power LI in Parliament to ensure that this time around, any government that comes to power, if you want to procure power, you have to go through procurement, competitive bidding through procurement.
Okay.
We won't have sole sourcing again.
Okay.
And just to conclude on the passage of ESLA, the amendment, the president, as he mentioned, it's a difficult but necessary decision. It's as a result of the mess that they created. Unfortunately, as a government, we have to find innovative ways to raise money to be able to procure liquid fuels and also deal with the challenges that the energy sector shortfalls.
Okay.
And that is why we are asking the people of Ghana to sacrifice with us, sacrifice with the government. We share in the gain to ensure that at the end of the day, we'll have a stable power sector.
Okay. All right, so Mancha Bruce just finally says that tomorrow, please tell Roxanne to hasten slowly. I'll start criticizing.
Are you a Ghanaian business ready to conquer new frontiers? From October 23rd to 25th, 2025, Ghana Fest Europe is your direct bridge to the lucrative Dutch and broader European markets. This is the ultimate platform to showcase your high-quality Ghanaian products and services. Ghana Fest Europe, proudly presented by Ram Media Concept in collaboration with the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, GNCCI, and under the auspices of key Ghanaian government